This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing this here day, this here Monday? I'm so glad y'all are here with me. I'm glad y'all are here with me this Monday, spending this Monday with me. It's good to see you. Abellis, who's saying hey to Mallory. Good to see you, Mallory. Crystal is here. Edith has been a member for 7 whole months. Oh my goodness gracious. That is amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. Jessica! Hannah, good to see you. My lovely Jenny Jen, A1 since day one. Donna's here. Good to see you. Southern's here. Good to see you. Mallory, good to see you. Kelly, there is too many children missing, and that's not even all the ones that are missing. It's insane, isn't it? Michael Green Chili Chicken, good to see you. Abellis, my love, good to see you again. Anders, good to see you. Tom, good to see you. My green bologna Tom sandwich. Snarky Pants, good to see you. Sam Brown, good to see you. Glad you're here. Andy's here. Good to see you, my love. Good to see you. I have been, let me see. I'm scrolling. Alex, good to see you. Abraham, good to see you. Keeping on this scrolling. Westside, I saw you had the flu. I hope you feel better, sweetheart. Good to see you. You get you some rest. Trying to think, like, I'll tell you guys, if you will take some, like a bunch of garlic cloves, just get them peeled to where it's just the clove and put it in a mason jar and cover them garlic cloves with honey, and you let that sit for a month, that stuff will help you fighting off any kind of stuff you might have going on. But it takes at least a month. I have a jar, but the kids kept eating the honey. The honey gets kind of watery from the garlic, but they kept eating the honey, and I got to make another one. Kim Beasy in the house. Good to see you. I heard some statistic recently that said that most missing children are found really fast. Yeah, I heard that too when we were talking about Jack and Lily. What you got? What's going on, Edith? Shradda's here. Good to see you. Edith. What you got going on, Edith? Singing all out of tune. While I'm looking, I have been pickling everything. Y'all, I made pickles again because I made pickles, and like I don't know how to do the brine. This is the first time that I've been able to make pickles that like I didn't accidentally cook. And the kids said that at the lake, Mr. Speculating A1 and his face turns like puckered up, and he was like, need to rinse them off first because I had too much vinegar. So anyway, this time I made a brine that had some water in it and not just straight vinegar. But I've been pickling everything. Y'all know. Cause y'all know I've been pickling. I made pickles, I made pickled peppers, pickled okra, and then this morning I made pickled eggs, cause I'm country as fuck, right? Y'all know I'm country as fuck, right?
Ain't scared to get dirty, baby. Cornbread fed, we curve it, baby.
Yeah, like my clip. Cindy, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. I really appreciate that. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. Thank you so much. And it's good to see you, my lovely Cindy from sunny South Florida. Hold on just a minute and I'll see who those went to. It's good to see you. Okay. Those went to Glitter is Forever, Betty Knight, Karen, Kira, Moons, MBS, and Crystal. If you were gifted and you are aware you were gifted, please tell Miss Cindy from sunny South Florida thank you. Thank you, Miss Cindy. And we will pay tribute to Ozzy by getting the crazy train to pick y'all up on the way to Speculation Station. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. If you are a member of Speculation Station, I did just put out new videos with the geese, and Basil is in a short. Beets and onions. See, I'm not big on onions, but I'm gonna be in there doing that next. Is that me? About damn 10 years ago, probably. Yeah. Holly, Hey y'all, what a coincidence. I'm in the middle of candying some cowboy candy. Oh, is that with the crackers? I don't know if that's what that is. We made this stuff one time and it was like crackers and oil and like hot pepper flakes and something else, and it was good. The kids were eating it. And like it was, because I was looking for something to make them to snack on, right? And I was like, because we didn't have a lot in the house at the time, and there's been times in my life where I ain't had a lot of money to go run to the store, you know what I mean? So we had some crackers, we had some oil, we had it might be vinegar, and we had red pepper flakes, and I made that stuff and it was so good. I don't know if that's what you're talking about though. Candied jalapenos. That sounds interesting. I did do pickled peppers. I used to pickle red onions. Did you really? Pickled eggs, put hair on your chest and lead in your pencil. Oh my goodness. Screaming banana. Is screaming banana in here? Crystal. Thank you for saying thank you. Oh, screaming daisies. Good to see you. All right, let me stop talking. Mallory Beavers, thank you for being a member for 8 months. That was so sweet and supportive of you. Thank you so much. 8 whole months. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. So, okay, yes. She said, "Woo." So, do you eat the garlic honey? Yes. If you're getting sick or feel like you're getting sick, you take a tablespoon of that honey, or you could eat a garlic clove. Like do it up to 3 times a day, and it's supposed to get rid of it. Now, the best thing to use is manuka honey, but it's really expensive. But you can use just regular honey too, and it's an antibiotic. Like it with the garlic, with the onion, makes a natural antibiotic. Also, nasturtium flowers, those or the nasturtium plant is a natural antibiotic as well. I try to grow as many as I can and then hang dry them, so I have that. I will say there's a lot of sugar. Oh goodness. Okay. Basically apple cider vinegar with sugar, celery seed, turmeric, and then canned. Huh. Interesting. I have to look that up. Sharing is caring. You suck, Nanny. I want some peach butter. I did make apple butter though. I made apple butter about a month ago. All right, let me stop running my mouth over here. I don't want hair on my chest and I don't have a pencil yet. I love pickled eggs. That's awesome. Yes. Manuka honey is amazing, but it's so damn expensive. I just got some because actually I heard a story where a cat got in a fight and a cat, like, the throat got ripped. Like they thought the cat was going to die. It was horrible. And they were able to stitch the throat back up and they put manuka honey on it and the cat lived. And like I don't know. There's a lot of times when farm animals get hurt, they'll use manuka honey to treat it, and they end up living. Crazy. Yes, I made some apple butter, y'all, because I had been trying for years to make apple butter too, and I just didn't have the right food processor, I think, or something, because I made it this year and it turned out good. A cure for awful stomach pains. I would say make goldenrod tea. That's what I use. I've had kidney issues my whole life almost, and goldenrod tea, it works really good. If you got corn growing and you get the corn silk off, but it has to be yellow, and make you a tea out of that, that'll help. Banana Bottom, good to see you. Can't wait to try Mayak eggs. Oh yeah, that they put in soy sauce. I want to try that too. Yes, Lord. All right, I'm gonna stop. Let me get it. Let me get. We got to do some true crime. I'm gonna run my mouth all damn morning. Hold on. We got 15:48. All right, I saw a couple of things that I wanted to talk to y'all about. Um, I didn't cover the Taylor Schabuisness story, but I did see this article that I wanted to talk to y'all about. It's not an article; it's a video where she talks about basically why she did everything she did, which I found real interesting. So I have this video. If it don't break it down, we're going to find a video that we can talk about that tells us what she did. For those of you who do not know, also the Bibb County 7 went to court. We've got some more information on that. And then if we just run out of time and don't have nothing to talk about, well, either today or tomorrow, I'm going to be covering this TikTok thing. I don't know what all that's about, but I'm going to learn about it with y'all. This thing in LA where they made a Netflix story out of some kind of dancing people, I guess, on TikTok that was up there dancing and the devil's involved and all kinds of just craziness, I guess. Papaya, says Cindy, is great for tummy and digestive. Thank you for that. Hey, Stoic. Love all the things pickles, all the homegrown forage cures. Yes, tinctures and stuff. Yeah, I just got self heal out of the yard. I'm going to try to make me some Neosporin for the youngins. Bogart, good to see you. Oh, I'm so glad y'all like him. He is a sweetheart. He's not in here right now, but he was. Hey, Miss Kimmy, you got kicked out. I don't know why you got kicked out. I don't think anybody kicked you out. They did. It was an accident. I don't know how you would have got kicked out, sweetheart. If they did, it was an accident, I'm sure. Somebody pocket modding. Green bologna will cure your stomach. I think that might give you a stomach ache. All right. So let's talk about Miss Taylor Schabuisness.
And the case for convicted killer.
Stop it. Okay. Yeah. I think this is it. Yes, it is. Okay. This is from Law and Crime. I wanted to look at it with you guys and go over it with you guys. She attacked her attorney. I do know that she's the one who was doing substances with this boyfriend she had. And she killed him and cut his head off. And his mother came downstairs the next morning and found her son's head in a bucket, which was, yeah, okay. Hey, Psychic Amelia. Good to see you. There was a Netflix documentary on the dancing TikTok cult. Yes, it's the same thing. They just got raided, y'all. She is a hot mess. She really is. She's actually, she would be really pretty if she wasn't so damn crazy. All right, here we go.
Convicted killer Taylor Schabuisness tells all.
I sucked his and cut his head off at the same time because the only SD that I would ever be doing would be sucking.
The murderer herself.
I'm going to back that up because I was talking. I was saying hey to people. Rubber, Michelle, good to see you. She is crazy. Yeah, she did things with his deceased body. Y'all. All right, listen to that again.
Business tells all.
I sucked his and cut his head off at the same time because the only SD that I would ever be doing would be sucking.
I was given oral and I cut his head off at the same time because the only oral I was going to be doing was with a male member. Y'all. Right? She could be pretty if she wants so damn crazy.
The murderer herself, speaking out exclusively to Law and Crime. What led up to the gruesome killing she's now serving time for?
Now, that spit rag thing is there. I believe that's right after she attacked her attorney and tried to stab him with a pencil. Hey, Michelle. Good to see you. Laura, good to see you. Kim said ICL. I think she needs some ICU.
How her fascination with serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer first began, and the details of the horrifying crime.
I took a chain, I put it around his neck, and I asked him again, where my at? He didn't respond. His face turned purple. There was blood coming out of his mouth.
Thanks for joining us today.
Now, if I had to guess, I would say she's going to make it as salacious as possible because she just seems like that type of person. But I'm giving y'all, actually, I'll go ahead and throw up, even though I don't usually use my little banners, I'll go ahead and throw up a trigger warning. There we go, because both of these cases that I'm going to talk about first are going to be very triggering. Y'all, please protect your peace if you need to. Plus, she was hawking loogies at her attorney. Oh, good Lord. I didn't even know that. So that's probably why the spit rag's there. That methamphetamine makes people do the craziest things. It really does. Hey, Curious Christine. Becky P., good to see you. How did she touch his body with no head? I don't know, but I heard she did a lot of things at his body while it didn't have a head. All right.
I'm your host, Sierra Gillespie, and the case we're talking about today, the one at Taylor Schabuisness, is one we've covered at length here on Law and Crime. Our viewers were so intrigued, and honestly, I kind of understand why. The details are so shocking, so unexpected, and honestly unbelievable, but they're all true. You might know Taylor Schabuisness as the woman who attacked her attorney in open court.
You went off on your attorney, Taylor. You went crazy on your attorney.
This actually happened more than once.
Sorry.
You might also know
I'm going to back that up. Watch, she jumps up and they knock her. They said, nope, not today. They knock her ass right down.
attacked her attorney in open court.
You went off on your attorney, Taylor. You went crazy on your attorney.
This
What?
actually happened more than once.
They said, snap.
You might also know Taylor as the woman who pointed finger guns at the judge during her trial and
Rise of the
also
Phoenix.
flipped off the same judge during the same trial. You might also know her as the woman who was eventually forced to wear a spit guard for everyone's safety at the same trial. But perhaps
Lord.
what Taylor Schabuisness is
Right?
most known for is murdering her lover during sex, decapitating his body, and then leaving dismembered body parts across the city of Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Damn, my head. Yeah, I can't believe I let that go.
So yes, she said WrestleMania. It took us a while to figure out what she said, and I think we figured out when we reviewed it one day that she did say WrestleMania. There wasn't no WrestleMania about that. She got up and got knocked right the hell back down. I think she hit her head pretty hard too. Maybe it knocked some sense into her. I probably shouldn't say that. Lord forgive me.
What may be the most disturbing of all, beyond
Hey,
the
Kimmy.
fact that Schabuisness sexually assaulted the victim after his head was cut off,
Yeah.
is that his own mother found the victim's head in a bucket beside his severed penis and a Jolly Rancher.
Y'all. A lot of people y'all are saying y'all heard razzle dazzle. That could have been it. It's either WrestleMania or razzle dazzle. I'm gonna take this down so y'all can see what it's saying at the bottom, and I'll try to not highlight comments. But y'all, I couldn't imagine being that child's mother. Because I mean, I don't care how old you are, you're still their child, and finding your son pieces of him like that with a Jolly Rancher of all things, like, my God. Weren't they on? Yeah, I think it was like a 1-year anniversary. I remember hearing that, Holly. Yeah, the I mean, there's just always something to the side that makes her just out her damn mind. But you know what? They do sell Jolly Ranchers on the canteen, so I hope they banned her from getting them. His name is Shad Thyron. Thank you for that, Abellis. I don't know, Kim. I don't know if she spit it out or not. Michelle said they were in his basement on a binge. They weren't really even a couple. They were friends with benefits. I thought it was like a 1-year thing, though. I remember hearing something about that. The parents might have been on some type of anniversary thing. I don't know. It was some type of something, but I could be wrong. Thank you for that, Michelle.
Are you positive my son's head is in a bucket?
That's how she put it. I found my son's head in a bucket. So I'm dumbfounded. Didn't believe her.
Here's what happened. On February 23rd, 2022, dispatch in Green Bay, Wisconsin gets a disturbing and unexpected 911 call.
I have no clue what's happening. My girl swears that she's found her severed head of her son in the basement.
Occasionally, Classy, good to see you.
In a bucket. I went down, I can't tell what the I'm part of my language. I'm kind of a little freaked out.
It was a shocking and disturbing allegation that the dismembered head of Shad Thyron was in a 10-gallon bucket.
Tara had woken me up and said she
Hey, Abraham.
thinks she found Chad, her son's, that's how she put it. I found my son's head in a bucket. So I'm dumbfounded. Didn't believe her. Thought she was having a mental issue or something.
That's Steve Hendricks. He was dating Shad's mom at the time of his murder. He's the one who called police after finding this.
I go downstairs and see what the hell she's talking about, and I can't see anything. So we go back upstairs and contemplate what the heck to do.
Could you imagine? Curious Christine, thank you for the super sticker. That was so very sweet and supportive of you, and I really appreciate that. The little pair with the thumbs up. That's so cute. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Could you imagine, like, I mean, I can't, like, I don't even know how to begin with that. Like, your son and his friend come over. I mean, hell, she might not even known they were doing substances. You never know. And like, I mean, I don't think that makes it any different regardless, but still, like, you just go downstairs to see how your son's doing or say hey or, offer him some food, what the hell ever, and then you find that. I mean, like, there's I can't even fathom it. Hey, Alex, you're fascinated with her. She would be interesting to try to do a psychological evaluation on, as an amateur. That would be interesting. Amber, good to see you. Hi. Right, like, I don't even know how, like, to even put it into words, like, how you would react. I couldn't imagine. I have no idea, like, damn. I don't know what happened earlier, Crystal. Okay.
So I guess what do you do specifically when you go downstairs?
I went to the basement and observed the bucket that she said, but I don't know, my mind blocked it out. All I seen was like hair, like an animal, or I didn't know what the heck.
And I want you to keep in mind, Green Bay, Wisconsin is a small town. Technically a city, but I call it a town. Almost everyone knows everyone. It has the small town feel. And yes, murders, crimes do happen from time to time, but nothing ever like this. So when police arrive to this home, they're skeptical at first until they get a closer look at the crime scene.
At the bottom of the stairs to the right, there was a green bucket with a shower towel on top of it. Just to verify we had an actual head in the bucket. Lifted the towel off, and there was, in fact, a human severed head in the bucket.
The head belonged to 24-year-old Shad Thyrion, who was last seen with his one-time girlfriend, Taylor Schabuisness.
Hi, Taylor. How's it going? Officer Russell with the Green Bay Police Department.
That's video of Taylor Schabuisness's arrest on the other side of Green Bay, not long after Shad's remains were recovered. And here's where we have to insert some new information from Schabuisness herself.
Real quick, I asked because Tom asked, did Taylor Schabuisness do anything crazy before she committed the homicide of Shad? We can go to the Wikipedia real quick, and I'll read this for those of you who do not know about the case. Shits not. Thank you for being here. Said, oh, this Schabuisness is one crazy biatch. Yep, she is. The pics are crazy, everything. All right, I'm going to read this to you guys. It says, on February 21st of 2022, Shad Thyrion, a 24-year-old American man, was homicided and dismembered by his lover, Taylor. Thyrion's severed head was discovered by his mother in a bucket in the basement of their family home in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Other severed body parts included Thyrion's bisected torso in a storage tote were later discovered by police. Schabuisness, who was involved in a sexual relationship with Thyrion, admitted to strangling him to death during sexual intercourse while they were both intoxicated with meth and prescription drugs. She continued to have relations with Thyrion's body before dismembering, removing internal organs from, and mutilating it. Schabuisness was arrested and charged with homicide, mutilating a corpse, and RAPE on July 26th of 2023. A jury convicted her on all three counts. Sentencing took place on September 26th, with Schabuisness sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Here's the background. It says on February 21st, 2022 at around 9:30 p.m., Thyrion was picked up from the home of his mother, Tara, by Taylor, with whom he had a sexual relationship. The couple, joined by a friend, went to an apartment on Eastman Avenue and smoked weed. Schabuisness stated in her interrogation that she and Thyrion also smoked meth and injected trazodone in the apartment after the friend left. The couple returned to Thyrion's mother's house, Packnick and her boyfriend, Steve Hendricks, were away at the time. So his mother and her boyfriend were away at the time, and they injected trazodone, which trazodone is a tranquilizer. Smoking meth, so you're going to be speedballing if you're. I've never heard of anybody injecting trazodone, but okay. And then you're smoking meth, that's going to be speedballing, and then the cannabis too. It continues. Then they went down to the basement and began engaging in intercourse. Schabuisness claimed that they engaged in erotic asphyxiation in prior encounters, and on this occurrence, they had used metal chains. Schabuisness then proceeded to strangle Thyron until he started to cough up blood. She continued until Thyron was deceased, which took around 3 to 5 minutes. Schabuisness then proceeded to perform oral sex and use sex toys on the body for several hours afterwards. The following morning, she dismembered the body using knives she found at the house. Schabuisness positioned the body on the bed and beheaded it over a bucket and a storage tote to contain the blood. She then dumped the blood down the basement shower drain. She also removed the organs and placed them in plastic bags, the tote, cardboard boxes, and the bucket. And then, of course, the investigation starts, and I won't go through all that. SD said she legally changed her name after the viral video of a woman saying it's none of your Schabuisness. I figured it was something she had done to change her name. So it sounds like maybe she was a little bit eccentric for quite a while. Karabubara, good to see you, said, geez, remember when Reverse Cowboy was erotica? Yeah, I do, actually. I mean, my God. Michelle said, injecting trazodone. I take it for sleep if needed. It's not an opiate or a benzo. Right. That's weird to me. I've never heard of people injecting trazodone. It's a sedative. My dog uses trazodone for anxiety before the vet visit. It's for sleep aid and tranquilizer. Right. Just as an observation, meth makes people do the most bizarre, violent, and strange things. And if you're like in that realm between being sedated by a tranquilizer and yet still awake because of the meth, I mean, who knows where your head goes. Yes, I have. I didn't see anything, but I'm going to ask again. I'll play this while I ask. It brought that up, so I didn't see anything on a previous criminal record. I can't imagine that she didn't have one before that, though.
For a few months now, Law and Crime has been working to get a sit-down interview with Taylor Schabuisness. Now, the prison in Wisconsin has denied this request, so we don't have video of the interview, but we do have audio because Schabuisness gave us the okay to record our phone conversations with her. So here's the first question. At the time of her arrest, was she thinking of going on the run?
I mean, that's definitely what I should have done, you know. That's definitely something that, like, any right-minded person would have done. Mm-hmm. That's definitely something that you could have done, but what I did, I stayed in town. I stayed in town, and I was chopping it up with my roommate.
Schabuisness was pretty straightforward in our conversations, and she was the same way after her arrest, too. She admitted to all of the gory details in her police interviews. Take a listen.
You two being intimate, having sex?
It was getting there.
It was getting there, okay. So will this be considered foreplay?
Yeah, it was. And then, I don't know. And then, I just didn't stop. I don't know why. I didn't stop.
You guys done something like this in the past?
Not like that.
Do you use manual strangulation during sex at all?
No.
Is she like that?
A manual strangulation? Yes.
He likes strangulation?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
he does. Yeah.
Where's the body?
The body's there. Yeah. It's,
So we're gonna take the head somewhere?
I like that.
You liked it?
Well, you're gonna have fun trying to look for all the organs, so yeah, they're all dismembered. Yeah.
So you dismembered the body too?
Yeah.
Well, what did you do with the body?
Oh, they're in the house.
Somewhere?
They're like, yeah.
Basement, upstairs, downstairs?
Absolutely in the basement. I was gonna room with them. And then, I know I forgot the head. I wanted the head.
Did you bring anything with you?
Yeah, it's in the van.
What?
It's in the van. It's, what is it? I don't know, a foot maybe.
The what?
I think it's a foot.
A foot
leg,
in the van?
a leg maybe. I'm like, I'm gonna bring it all, and then I'm like, man, this is messy. So then I'm
Now, I do need to reiterate that she did have some kind of fascination with Jeffrey Dahmer, and we know what he did. Tom, I did find something on her past, and I'm going to read it in just a second when we get past this interrogation part. Jamie, good to see you. Taylor, worshiping Dahmer is scary. It is. It's a lot to take in. It does take a lot of strength to dismember a body. And I mean, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
I got lazy.
Okay.
I got lazy, and that's what I did. So I'm like,
How did you dismember his body?
knives,
With what?
knives.
Knives? Just more than one knife? Where'd you get those from?
Kitchen. Just couldn't find mine, and I wasn't sharp enough.
You weren't sharp?
No, it was alright. Bread knife works good.
Bread knife?
A bread knife works good. Yeah.
Really?
I had to use what I used. So like, yeah. I got lazy.
A bread knife. Like, and she's laughing about it. Irene, Pinky, good to see you. And didn't she use his private part after she cut it off? That's what I heard. Yeah, there is some sexual things going on with all of that. That's from what I understand. Yes, it's unusual for a woman to have so much strange in their head so they can strangle anybody. But I've heard you can get superhuman strength from some of the drugs. I've heard that as well. I'm definitely thinking that has something to do with it. If I remember correctly, I think they went a couple of times to go get substances. And at some point, she probably did by herself because remember, his parents weren't there at the time. She doesn't mention anything about being owed $50 here, right? Not that I've heard of. Abby Cruz. Nice to meet you. Good to see you. Some of his limbs were in a crock pot in the van she was driving. That's insane. Criminally insane, as Alex says.
Lazy last night, so.
Where were these knives be?
They're in with all the organs and all the body parts.
And where was that?
In the black bag. It's in the black bag.
In the basement?
It's in the basement. They're all in the basement.
Here's what Schabuisness told police at the time.
We're going to pause that right there. Hey, Grave Adventures of Nurse Jenny. Nice to meet you. Chandler Halderson dismembered both of his parents, and he looks like a weak little wuss. People must start running on adrenaline, or in Taylor's case, meth. I agree with that. Hey, Cara. Good to see you. I think you know about a lot about this case, don't you, Cara? Okay, I'm going to pull this up. Now, this is from Court TV. It's going to give us some background on her because it does have a little clip that talks about before, like this was during the sentencing. Okay. It says Schabuisness was born in Chicago, November 3rd of 1997. And was raised by her parents until the family moved to Wisconsin when she was in the 4th grade. She attended public schools in Wisconsin until her senior year, at which point she was expelled for fighting with another student. She then moved to Texas, where she completed school while living with her paternal grandparents. Schabuisness told her lawyers that her mother, Marla, died in 2009 from cirrhosis and alcoholism. Her father is still alive, and she has family in the Green Bay area. Defense attorneys have not yet offered any argument or evidence about the specifics of Schabuisness' insanity plea during the guilt phase of the trial. In preliminary hearings, attorneys and doctors pointed out a pattern of drug use that included meth. In court documents filed after her arrest, Schabuisness attorney said she first recalled receiving mental health treatment when she was in 7th grade to address attention, concentration, and behavioral problems in school. At the time, she was medicated to address, quote, symptoms presumed to stem from ADD or ADHD, unquote. Her attorney said Schabuisness was later prescribed a mood stabilizer, an antidepressant, and an antipsychotic until age 18 when she weaned herself off of the medications. Schabuisness, through her attorneys, said she was hospitalized after an unaliving attempt in April and May of 2021, at which point she was diagnosed with PTSD and bipolar disorder, adding to her past diagnoses of severe depression and ADD and ADHD. A criminal complaint filed in 2020 case a criminal complaint filed in a 2020 case involving Schabuisness offers a glimpse of bizarre behavior and potential drug use. Schabuisness was charged with battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting arrest after allegedly behaving oddly after she was found walking in the middle of the street. Police had been called to the area for a woman seemingly under the influence of narcotics who was knocking on doors. When officers arrived and asked her what was going on, she stated, quote, not sure and was on a different planet right now, unquote. Schabuisness allegedly told officers she had, quote, just shot up, unquote, and showed them track marks on her arms. During the incident, Schabuisness allegedly kicked at the officers who tried to prevent her from walking into oncoming traffic. Schabuisness's conviction for battery means she is a repeat offender in terms of sentencing during the punishment phase of her trial. She's facing life in prison. So, yeah, evidently she was having some issues beforehand, Tom. But, I mean, you would think all of that's substance related, and it's not. I mean, having bipolar and being severely depressed is part of bipolar, and then ADHD and PTSD. I mean, Lord, I've got all of those diagnoses and I ain't doing nothing like that. Abraham said, I think she took the van without permission or claiming she would be right back. It was snowing a lot, so maybe the roommate didn't need it and he was probably staying in. True. I don't think she mentions being a lady of the night here either. In a call from Court TV from the other day, she said she wishes she was on the street slinging punani. I think she says things like that to be salacious. During Sadie's trial, Maxwell's lawyers were there and couldn't dismember her. I was thinking about all the other cases like, oh my God, yes, he could. Oh, Sade's trial? Yeah, that one's sad. Okay, back to Miss Schabuisness.
She was having sex with Shad. Then she started to strangle him with a chain. She said even when his face turned purple, she just kept going. After that, she dismembered his body with knives that were taken from his mom's kitchen. After that, she hid the remains around the basement and in a minivan she had been borrowing from one of her friends. Now, those clips that we just played for you were from her police interview in 2022, not long after the murder. But here's what she told Law and Crime just this month. And note, she pre-wrote this description of what happened and she read it out almost like it was a poem or something. Take a listen.
I was on the run in Texas after having my baby taken. I decided to make things right and clear up north. When I got back, they put my on the bracelet. I went.
Okay, first of all, she said that after she had her baby, she was going to go up north and make things right by shooting up. I'm sorry, I just found that off. I'm going to be quiet so we can hear the whole thing. I shouldn't have paused it. But what? Like, after losing your baby, you go up north to make things right and shoot up is your intention of how you're going to make things right? Like, that doesn't even make any damn sense. But she's pointing out that it's going to sound like a poem or something. Interesting. I will hush your mouth so we can hear the whole thing.
Read it out almost like it was a poem or something. Take a listen.
I was on the run in Texas after having my baby taken. I decided to make things right and clear up north. When I got back, they put my on the bracelet. I went to buy a bag on the low, so I went to my ex, who was a Satan disciple, and family, we all Latin kings. so we beefing. We don't with SDs. I gave him $100 for the bag, and the bag was $50. He pocketed the cash. Me and him and another homie all soaked up, and then my homie left, and I went to drop off my ex, and he wanted before I left. So I went into the basement, and he went and pulled out 2 chains. I asked him, where my money at, fool? And he said, I ain't got it. So I took a chain, I put it around his neck, and I asked him again, where my at? He didn't respond. His face turned purple. There was blood coming out of his mouth. So I laid down on the bed and to listen to his heartbeat, and I said, damn, this motherfucker's still beating. I went upstairs to grab a kitchen knife. I went back downstairs, took off his pants. I sucked his cut his head off at the same time, because the only SD that I would ever be doing would be sucking. Then I chopped his off and to conceal the crime. I used a nearby shower drain to pour out the blood and put in bags and boxes around the basement to store the body parts in, and plastic bags for the organs. I was covering up his body, and while the people were entering the basement, I would continue to cut him up, and then and I would cover him up, and then when they would leave, I would cut him back up, and then I headed out to the truck, and I started loading up the body parts in there. And then I went back to the apartment I was staying at after chopping it up with my roommate. I went to go get rid of the body, and then there was cops surrounding the place with their guns out telling us to get down, get on the floor, and that's why I'm in custody today.
Schabuisness also gave us some more information about.
Okay, that was a lot. She definitely sounded like she was trying to rap. Abraham said, ma'am, you are no rapper. Stop it. And yeah, evidently she has a child. Hopefully the child, I mean, it sounds like she lost the child relatively young. And even if that child is genetically it is like her and has ADHD and bipolar disorder, severe depression, hopefully no PTSD, but possibly. There's a lot of people who have all kinds of things, like Abella said, schizophrenia, all kinds of things that would never hurt anybody. So hopefully the child will be way better off without her. Michelle says she's claiming she did it because he's from a rival gang. There was some gang talk in there, but I don't know. She said that they're Satan disciples and she don't fuck with SD. But I would think SD would be Satan disciples. So I don't know. She's very charming, right? Janie. Cara said, I was telling my new coworker about this case. She brought this trial up and she said she didn't know too much, but I heard this woman was a female Hannibal Lecter. Yeah. I think she wants to be more like a female Jeffrey Dahmer. And she likes to, I can already tell just by hearing this and, you know, from what I know, which I haven't watched a lot about it, but she likes to relive the case. Like she's telling it and it's like a badge of honor for her. So I feel like we shouldn't give her a lot of attention about, like, I mean, you know, people are going to ask questions to understand the story, but asking her to talk about it, like, she enjoys it. She really thinks that she's hot shit because of what she did. Hey, Holly. She looks like one of Satan's disciples. She really does. Hey, Vicky the Leo. She did it in the victim's house, not her house where the roommates were. Yes. Psychic Amelia. She did it in his house, and his mother and his mother's boyfriend were not there at the time, and they were down in the basement. Clear shit up north, I think. Clear shit up north. Oh, clear. So she went up north to settle a score or something, is what you're saying? Maybe I misunderstood. Yeah, it's crazy, Crystal.
What led up to the murder?
Well, what went down was I had bought a bag of dope. I bought it for $50, but I gave him $100 and he didn't give me my $50 back. And what went down between the whole thing, he was a SD, and then I was a Latin King.
So SD is going to be Satan disciples, and then Latin Kings, it is going to be two rival gangs. But she's talking about the person she got the meth from.
And then I wasn't supposed to be doing my with my ex, but that's what's now. And you know, SDs and Latin Kings, they ain't good.
Schabuisness mentions in that recording, and according to her poem that she read out, that Shad Thyrion allegedly had stolen from her, and that's why she says she, quote, took him out.
I wasn't supposed to be doing business with my ex, but I did. And then what he did, he pocketed the money that I was supposed to have. So I went out and took his out for that. As soon as that went down, I started chopping up the body. Because I did one thing for sure. I did have, I had a lot of out there.
Taylor Schabuisness was eventually charged with first-degree intentional homicide. She was also charged with third-degree sexual assault for assaulting the body after Shad Thyrion was already dead. But on top of all of this, she was also charged for mutilating a corpse.
Yeah, she should be. Abraham said the mother heard her leave in the middle of the night as the back door closed. I believe the mother got up to make sure the door wasn't left open or something. Okay, thank you for that. So then she was there. Well, the Wikipedia thing said she wasn't, but maybe that would have been the second night, I think. So maybe the night of the homicide, they weren't there, but then they come home the second night when she had done all of the dismembering and quote unquote cleaning up and then left after that. And that's when the mother found out. She idolized Jeffrey Dahmer. She sure did. I don't know because I mean, they're lucky they're alive, but I don't know that they would have been victims of her anyway, because they're not on substances. You know, he was like, they were in the middle of the erotic asphyxiation and on substances. So it's like he didn't even have a chance to fight. I don't think she would have went upstairs and done that to people who could fight. I don't know though. I could be wrong. But I think she's rather unlucky. I couldn't imagine finding my child like that, my baby. She is lucky to be alive. Yes, because this took place in like a span of 2 nights. Yep. Okay. Thank you. Michelle said, yes, the mom heard the door close and heard a car start up in the driveway at 3:30 in the morning, went down to check on things and found her son's head in a bucket and at the bottom of the stairs. Yes, ma'am.
So why desecrate the body in that way?
That I can conceal this crime, you know. I chopped up his body. And then, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things going on at the time, but...
And right here is where the Jeffrey Dahmer comparison comes in. In all, Jeffrey Dahmer was convicted of 16 murders in the early 1990s. And I would say he's one of the more notorious serial killers there is out there for the grotesque aspects of the case. I mean, it's involving cannibalism and necrophilia on top of murder. So Dahmer, of course, comes up when we're talking about Taylor Schabuisness.
Now, Tom said, I'd like to see her and Stefan in the same cell. And yeah, Jamie, I'm with Jamie. She'd take care of Stefan real quick, and that would be a blessing to all of us. I probably shouldn't say that, but I think it would. After that quote unquote victim impact statement he gave about Maddie, I'm just there's just no there's nothing. I mean, he just needs to go. Jeffrey Dahmer was crazy, but Jeffrey Dahmer, I mean, I'm not excuse me. I kind of have a soft spot for Jeffrey Dahmer because a lot of that had to do with the time period. His mother had some issues and was taking a bunch of medications that we now know you should not be taking while you're pregnant. And she was on a lot from what I understand. So I think that he was just born and something was off with him. Now his victims, I mean, very young males, and the way he did things is horrendous. But I don't think he was ever going to be anything else. And I think it has a lot to do with the pharmaceuticals his mother was taking that we now know you should not ever take while you're pregnant. What are we saying? Abraham said, I never heard this being said, but I'm sure that smell of iron from all that blood must have been traveling all over the house. Yeah, because it's a very strong smell. She'd give Stefan the Schabuisness. She sure would. Hey, Vero. Ooh, damn. I'm sure that she would mess him up, though. Hey, Chris. What are the pride flags for? Is pride not over? I don't know. I didn't see any. If they're in chat, my mod Abellis always has that in her name. I don't think I have any pride flags other than that. But there's a lot of people in our chat that have pride flags. It's nice to meet you, Chris. Abella said, Jessica, I do too. Dahmer had much different issues than other serial killers. He wanted to keep people, not kill them necessarily. Right. And maybe I'm wrong for kind of having a soft spot for him, but I mean, it's no excuse for his victims or the horrible things he did, but it's different with Dahmer. He's no Charles Manson. But I like Charles Manson too. Not what he did. I find him interesting. Maybe I shouldn't use the word like. I find what he did interesting, and I'd like to break it down more and understand the psychology behind it with Manson. Hey, Vero. I'm very proud of Pride as well, Vero. Never noticed Jeffrey Dahmer's eyes were so dead. They are. They really are. Sounded to me like she said clear some things up north. Okay, that would make a little bit more sense. Clear some things up north. I'm glad that you've been lurking here, and it is nice to meet you. I'm so glad that you came out of the bushes.
Because first of all, they've got the Wisconsin connection. But second of all, he also came up in Taylor Schabuisness's search history. Here's a clip from her trial.
Were there several searches related to Jeffrey Dahmer and other items on the device that were consistent with Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yes. Things such as flaming pentagram, Jeffrey Dahmer, things like that. KKK, I believe, is one of them.
What?
And Detective, did you note the dates and times of the respective searches that you believed were relevant?
It was around the time of the homicide.
And there's a now infamous photo of Taylor Schabuisness smiling next to a photo of Jeffrey Dahmer.
A photograph of my client, Taylor Schabuisness, either laying on a bed or sitting. And then there's a phone next to her, and the phone has a picture of Jeffrey Dahmer on her phone. So they're together. We all know that Jeffrey Dahmer was the worst serial killer in Wisconsin history. There are a lot of negative memories and thoughts and commentary. People watch that trial on TV with Attorney Boyle and Attorney Wendy Patrikas.
I mean, he's acting like he's got all the disdain in the world for that. Good gracious. Kim said Manson never scared me when I was a kid. I've been in true crime ever since. Right, I have too. Formaldehyde caused awful. Did you know that back in I think it was like early 1900s, they would give babies formaldehyde. The ones that were like in orphanages, they were giving them formaldehyde in the milk because they thought it gave them vitamins, and a bunch of babies died. That stuff's interesting. Schabuisness is more like Ed Gang. I think you said that Dahmer would not. Yeah, no. Yeah, Dahmer would laugh at Schabuisness. I think somebody should tell her that to her face. I'd love to see her reaction. Like, she needs to be crushed like that.
In Milwaukee County. The state is trying to link my client with Jeffrey Dahmer by offering these exhibits.
Miss O.
Schabuisness explained all of this to Law and Crime.
I had my niece with me, and she was watching a whole lot of series on Dahmer. A whole lot of series on Dahmer, and then everybody thought I was dating Dahmer, so people were laughing at my saying I was dating Dahmer. I took a picture with his, and then I was trying to put it on a blow-up doll, a customized blow-up doll.
Mm-hmm.
His face, and then send it off to one of my friends.
In the phone calls with us, Schabuisness says she admits to the crime. She admits to murdering Shad Thyrion and dismembering his body.
Jindy, yes, she only unalived him. She only committed the homicide of him. Hey, Soups. A lot of people coming in. Dainty Mrs. O. Soups. Jindy, good to see you. She is. And she is not Dahmer's type. Dainty, I missed your question, but I'm glad Abella's got it for you. Dahmer was into men you are selling. He ain't buying. Exactly. Exactly.
But she says she's no female Jeffrey Dahmer. She's only killed one person.
Nah. I mean, no, there's mother out there that, you really want to you beef with hard. I mean, yeah, you want to murder but
What?
no, I mean that's what other they be saying on my name that I've killed more than one, but man, I'm trying to work on this appeal, and get out.
Throughout the call, we asked Schabuisness about the crime, but also her personal background, what she wanted to be when she grew up, or what she
Okay, so yeah, I said only one person. I don't mean it as in his life is not important, and because she didn't have more, that's a bad thing. I meant that if we are comparing to Dahmer committed homicides of a lot of people, and she took the life of one person was the comparison. I didn't mean it in a negative way or in a bad way. Chad's life was very important. I didn't mean it like in a bad way. So I do apologize for that. I should have figured out a better way, but I meant in comparison, Dahmer took out a lot of people and she took out only one, but thank God that she was caught right after that happened. Merc, yeah, she's trying to sound all gangsta. Merc, murder. Yeah, Dahmer was a serial killer, and she wasn't. Yes, that's exactly what I meant. Thank you, Abraham. Oh, the reporter said it, not me. Well, I'm sure the reporter said it the same way, so I apologize for me and for her.
she daydreamed about. The other voice in this clip that you'll hear is our booking producer, Diane Kay.
I would like to be a teacher, or I'd like to be a whatever, you know?
I'd like to be still slinging my pussy on the street, but over here it's all right.
Okay.
I mean, she's saying that to be salacious. All of it. All of it. Like, who says that? I'd like to still be slanging my punani on the street. Really, ma'am? Lord of mercy. Titanium, I am good to see you. Her and Stephen Stearns are a lot alike. They both have blow-up dolls. They did, actually. The gruesomeness of her deed. They were both very gruesome. She's just about shock and awe.
All right. Well, that makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Law and Crime also asked Taylor Schabuisness about the attacks of her attorneys because, as we pointed out, there are multiple, and she gave us some background.
The most recent one,
Wait a minute. She had a shock belt on, so they were probably shocking the shit out of her while she went after him. If you look at the video that's like from up in the air where it shows, I'll show you. She's got the
Law and Crime also asked Taylor Schabuisness about the attacks of her attorneys because, as we pointed out, there are
right here, when I move it, this black thing right here that's like up under her arm and then goes around front, that's a shock belt. And she still was able to do all that while they were shocking the shit out of her. That's the thing that they talked about with Stefan that they were going to put on, and then they just push a button and it like shocks the shit out of them. So that was happening while she was doing all this. And that shows, I mean, we know she's not on any methamphetamine, so she's already got some kind of strength when she goes at it, I guess. Because, I mean, to not stop while you're getting shocked like that until they get you on the ground is crazy.
Multiple.
See it right there? That line, that's that shock belt. Oh my God. So she's, yeah, maybe it needs fresh batteries. She is feral. But that shows some kind of strength right there that she already had with no substances. Or she's had after the homicide, but again, no substances is the point.
And she gave us some background.
The most recent one, when my attorney, he was calling my and he was saying I need another competency.
Yeah.
And he kept on calling my sticking his tongue out at me. And so I went off on his. But the one before that, he was doing the same thing too, saying that like about competency. He kept on saying you need more competency hearings. You need more competency hearings. They constantly keep on saying that, and I said no, I'm straight. I'm straight. My dad showed up in the back of the courtroom, and as soon as he popped through, that was my dad's previous attorney too, and then he had just fired his. He said get this guy off your case. So then, as soon as my dad popped up into that courtroom when he sat his down, I already knew it was go time, and that's when I had to go in. So then that's when I went in and I fired it.
Taylor Schabuisness.
Okay, so her dad had the same attorney. That's showing a family pattern of some shit going on. It sounded like she was trying to impress her dad from the story she just gave, with her dad saying that was his attorney and he wasn't good, so you need to fire him. And then her dad came in, and so she pops off, quote unquote, basically goes in on him and tries to beat him up to impress her dad, and then fires the attorney. So that's a family issue to add with all the other things. I wonder if her dad is affiliated. Drama must remain on the stage. Good to see you. She could shock him for that. Wow, yeah. She's shocking her attorney too while getting. Oh, that's what y'all are saying. Oh, I didn't even think about that. So yeah, while she was hitting him, she was shocking him. Wow, I didn't even think about that. Abraham said JSP, the person holding the button should have accidentally pressed it so we could see Stephen Stearns fall in crushing pain. Yeah, he would have fell. He damn sure wouldn't have had the balls to keep going. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Lily Gal, good to see you. Story cracking me up. That's what Lori Daybell had on, is it? Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I'm glad he's in prison, but what the hell? Yeah, there's some family issues there. Lord of mercy. Sounds like Letitia saying the detective was taunting her on the road back to Colorado. Yeah, when she went in and hit with that monster can. Crazy ladies.
Went to trial in July of 2023. She pleaded not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect, and she stands by that.
Definitely insane. You know, I should have went back to Chicago. I should have went down south, but I didn't do that. I stayed up north. I stayed around in Green Bay. I went back to where my bracelet was at, and to continue going to work, and then continue on from there. But instead, I just smoked up with my roommate, and that was that.
To be clear, though, Taylor Schabuisness was found guilty and found to be sane at the time of the crime.
The first verdict reads as follows. We, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Schabuisness, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 1 of the information, dated this date, July 26th, 2023, signed by the foreperson. The second verdict reads as follows. We, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Schabuisness, guilty of mutilating a corpse as charged in count 2 of the information, dated this date, July 26th, 2023, signed by the foreperson.
Insane in the brain.
The next verdict reads, we, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Schabuisness, guilty of third-degree sexual assault as charged in count 3 of the information, dated this date, 26th day of July, 2023, signed by the foreperson.
So she was sentenced to life in prison, which, by the way, is the highest sentence anyone can receive in the state of Wisconsin. But
I wish she would have got death. Abraham said, didn't she attack someone during trial? Yes, that's what we just saw, where she was attacking the attorney. The videos of where we were talking about the shock belt. Her father's parents, her grandparents, have Taylor's son. Hopefully that will be okay. It's concerning considering her father, but as long as he don't have them, hopefully it'll be okay. Yes, that's what it means, Abby. I think it's without parole. When I looked it up, Jamie, it said without parole. On Wikipedia, she has no opportunity for parole, but she was talking about trying to appeal in that jail call.
Abolished death penalty long ago. Now, Taylor Schabuisness has tried to appeal her conviction, but the court found there are no grounds for appeal. This actually happened recently. She wrote a handwritten note to the court, and here's what it reads in part, quote, I'm a voluntarily dismiss the no merit and extend the time to file a post-conviction motion.
Okay, now you see how the writing is. That's like spray paint. Like, when they tag something, that's what it looks like. So she's got her case number, State of Wisconsin versus Taylor Schabuisness, Court of Appeals. IMMA, voluntary dismiss the no merit and extend the time to okay. I'm a voluntarily dismiss the no merit and extend the time to file a post conviction motion. She drew lips and signed it Schabuisness. Lord have mercy. Hey, Indy. Oh, Indy, you've been here. You think Letitia is worse? Considering what she did to Gannon, not Gavin, Gannon. I mean Gannon, yeah, he was an innocent child. I don't know. I don't know if I could tell you who is worse. Maybe we should do a poll. Hey, Proud Danish. Yeah, I'm a voluntary, it's not even voluntarily, it's voluntary dismiss in the tagging style handwriting.
So more could be ahead for her in terms of motions. We do know, though, that she's due back in court already in October for a second trial she now faces.
Oh.
This time for assaulting a staff member at the women's prison that she's currently housed in. We'll see what's ahead at Taylor Schabuisness's upcoming trial. Law&Crime does plan to be there, so we'll give you all of the updates as soon as that happens with the hearings and then the eventual 3-day trial that is scheduled. On top of that, our booking producer, Diane Kay, is the one who's been in contact with Taylor Schabuisness and recorded those phone calls. So we'll see if Taylor continues to reach out to Diane, and if so, and reveals more information, we'll definitely have a follow-up episode with the latest developments in the sordid case of Taylor Schabuisness. Thanks for watching today's episode of Law&Crime News. I'm your host, Theor.
Scott, thank you. 3 of the 7 defendants in the Bibb County child sex trial.
Okay. I wanted to go back through. I was doing the poll. So I asked, is Taylor worse than Letitia Stout? 40% are saying no, and 60% are saying they're equally messed up. Oh, it just changed. Some people are saying yes, no. It's all across the board right now. Okay, let me refresh this because it's all weird. I wanted to see if we could go through and see like just what she says on the phone call, because I wanted to hear the phone call solely. So let's start there. Dang it. Hold on. Okay, let's make it big.
Jeffrey Dahmer first began, and the details of the horrifying.
He didn't respond. His face turned purple. There was
crime.
Lord
I
of
took
mercy.
the chain, I put it around his neck, and I asked him again, where my at? He didn't respond. His face turned purple. There was blood coming out of his mouth.
Thanks for.
Okay, so it started with I asked him where my shit's at. Probably referencing the substances they were on, the rest of her meth or whatever. And so she put a chain around his neck and asked him where it was at. And he wasn't able to answer. And so basically she choked him unconscious. Banana Bottom said Stephen Stern has no muscle tone. He'd have fallen right over and tried to sue for another TBI. He absolutely would. They put her attorney's underwear on her head. Abella said Taylor's crime was suddenly. Letitia went on and on. That's true. Gannon was a good, sweet boy. I cried over him. Gannon, that's a horrible kid. I mean, oh my God, Gannon is not a horrible kid. I meant it's a horrible crime. Gannon was a sweet, loving, kind boy. And it broke my heart even more when his mama got up there and was talking about how he was like premature and he had to stay in the NICU. Like, that's when I cried, when she gave her victim impact statement. Abraham said, does she expect to be released after giving that very detailed confession from the get-go? Is she related to Wade Wilson? I think she gets off on hearing about it. You know, it makes her happy. He would have been, oh my God, he'd be 15 in September. It's so sad. Yeah, I think a lot of it, Abby, is clout chasing. A lot of it. Stephen Stearns has so little muscle tone that if he held his arms up, he'd fallen through his own a-hole. Taylor gives you that crazy look. You better leave immediately. Yeah, absolutely. They are effed up in different ways. Taylor is crazy, violent, and not remorseful. Tisha is evil for what she did to Gannon and all the effing lies stringing along Al, gaslighting manipulator. Yeah, when we got those videos of where the alleged break-in, and you can just see Al is just trying to like keep her happy and just say, I believe you, even though the police are telling him that, this is a setup and basically she did it and there's nothing they can really do about it because there's not a perpetrator. And he's just like trying to calm her down. I mean, it made me feel really bad for Al. All right, hold on. Here's the next part.
Of her arrest, was she thinking of going on the run?
I mean, that's definitely what I should have done, That's definitely something that, like, any right-minded person would have done. That's definitely something that you could have done. But what I did, I stayed in town. I stayed in town, and I was chopping it up with my roommate.
Okay, so basically, again, they ask if she should have been on the run, and she's like, yeah, I should have ran, but they would have found her anyway, and says that she stayed in town and was chopping it up with my roommate means I was hanging out with my roommate and just, chilling or whatever. The way she talks, that talk, it's hard to figure out, but she means that she was hanging out with her roommate. From his 3 belly buttons. Is it victim blaming to say he was? Well, I mean, not if you have evidence of that, but I mean that would be a statement by proxy. Like maybe he was cooking meth, but it doesn't mean that necessarily that the crime is any less horrendous. You know what I mean? So if he was and you could validate it, I would say no, but I don't think it would matter. You know what I mean, Anders? Stephen Stearns having no muscle tone is why I believe Maddie was taken out of Jen's room and they both got her out. He would not have been able to carry her down all those stairs. She was 115 pounds. That's a good point. Also, why Maddie's, when she was in Jen's room, I believe it fell off her foot in the panic to get her out to the car, probably. I don't think so. If he could have thrown Jen under the bus for the Maddie, what he would have. You think so? I don't know. I think so too, honestly. Okay.
Schabuisness was.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Wanted to hear kind of just the jail call.
She pre-wrote this description of what happened and she read it out almost like it was a poem or something. Take a listen.
I was on the run in Texas after having my baby taken. I decided to make things right and clear up north.
Okay, so yeah, definitely said that clear shit up north. So she's on the run in Texas after losing her baby from what, like some kind of charges? And so she goes up north and she says, when I got back, they put my ass on the bracelet. The bracelet's going to be basically, oh my God, my mind just went blank. Basically where they have the ankle monitor on you and you have to appear for court and things like that, so they can locate you and make sure you don't leave.
When I got back, they put my on the bracelet. I went to buy a bag on the low, so I went to my ex who was a Satan disciple, and family, we all Latin kings, so we beefing. We don't with SDs. I gave him $100 for the bag, and the bag was.
Okay, I'm going to back it up because I had to take a phone call real quick. I want to be able to break it down for you. Okay.
After having my baby taken, I decided to make things right and clear up north. When I got back, they put my on the bracelet. I went to buy a bag on the low, so I went to my ex who was a Satan disciple, and family, we all Latin kings.
Okay, so there she went on the low, basically trying not to be maybe tracked by her ankle monitor, and it sounds like her ex-boyfriend, whoever that is from a rival gang than her family. She said her family is all Latin kings, and that could explain what's going on with the dad or something like that, and maybe she was brought up in that type of environment, so this is all normal, and she feels a sense of pride, I would say. I'm glad that child is hopefully going to be okay. Yeah. Have not followed this case, but it looks like I need some study on. This case was crazy. She has been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, but drama. It was horrible what she did to her boyfriend or her lover.
So we beefing. We don't with SDs. I gave him a hundo.
So basically, she went to her ex on the low without her family knowing because they're Latin Kings and her ex was Satan disciple. And right then, Latin Kings were fighting with the Satan's disciples. And so she didn't want anybody to know. So she went to her ex, who was a Satan's disciple, and she gave him $100 for a bag of meth. And it was $50
for the bag, and the bag was $50. He pocketed the cash. Me and him and another homie all soaked up, and then my home.
So he kept the whole $100, and then her and her friends hung out for a little while.
Left, and I went to drop off my ex, and he wanted before I left.
And so they all hung out, and then they decided to leave, and she went to go drop her ex-boyfriend off, and he wanted some before she left.
So I went into the basement, and he went and pulled out 2 chains.
So she is referencing her victim, Shad. So Shad evidently is the Satan disciple who had the methamphetamine, and she gave him $100, and he pocketed all the money, and the bag was $50. So she went and took him back home, and he wanted some, so she went down there and was having relations with him, and they got out some chains. If I remember correctly, it was something like a dog chain or something, I thought. Grave said her trial was very, very interesting for anyone who hasn't watched it. Completely insane, but interesting for sure. Absolutely. I bet it was. I haven't watched it. I need to. I'm going to call dibs on shock ankle monitor, and I'm the supervisor of the control button. I would give you that ability, Lily Gal. You could definitely be in charge of that in my courtroom. When she's talking about her ex, she is talking about is she talking about the victim? Or she is talking about the victim, yes. I just figured that out myself, but yes, she is talking about the victim. There was a dog chain. I thought so. It was a dog training collar, a choke chain. Okay, yes, thank you. I thought so. This is the first time she mentions 2 things. Oh, you're good, Vera. Being ripped off for $50 and prior being a lady of the night. Interesting. So maybe she's doing this again for the publicity or clout of it.
I asked him where my money at, fool, and he said I ain't got it. So I took a chain, I put it around his neck, and I asked him again where my at. He didn't respond. His face turned purple. There was blood coming out of his mouth. So I laid down on the bed and to listen to his heartbeat, and I said,
okay, so she asked for the money back. He said he ain't got it, which if they legitimately just came from the other person's house, unless he spent it on substances there, he would have had it. But anyway, she chokes him with the choke chain for the dog. And then blood started coming out of his mouth, and she laid him on the bed and listened to his heartbeat like they talk about Jeffrey Dahmer doing. I think she means if he was real in her mind. Yeah. She is boastful, Nessa.
damn, this motherfucker still beating me. I went upstairs to grab a kitchen knife. I went back downstairs, took off his pants. I sucked his cut his head off at the same time because.
Okay, so his heart was still beating, and so she went and got a knife and did all of those things, gave him oral, and then cut his head off while she was giving him oral. But I don't know how he could still be alive or heart beating, and she would be able to do all that without a response. Is it possible? Probably, but I doubt it. He's probably deceased at that point. But I don't know how. I mean, I would think that things in that area wouldn't work after death. I don't know. With him being a male, that makes any sense.
The only SD that I would ever be doing would be sucking.
So she's told him the only SD referencing Satan's disciples she would ever be doing is sucking dick. Yeah, an octopus, it's not even possible. It doesn't even make sense. I hope he was too, Vero. I really do. I don't know if it's true, but I've heard that men can stand to attention after that. Okay, so maybe. I don't know. That's crazy.
Then I chopped his off and conceal the crime. I used a nearby shower drain to pour out the blood and put in bags and boxes around the basement to store the body parts in, and plastic bags for the organs. I was covering up his body, and while the people were entering the basement, I would continue to cut him up, and then
Okay, so she was cutting up his body and putting his organs and blood down the drain. And then she says, while people were entering the basement, I would continue to cut him up, or I would cover him up. Who was coming in and out of the basement? His mom or something? And she would cover him up to make it look like he was sleeping, I guess. I think like she's telling how she mixed up a cake. And I know, it's like she's making a damn cake. It's crazy. Letitia, Stefan, Brian, and Schabuisness prove my reasons for trusting animals more than humans. A lot of people do. And I think you're smart if you do trust animals more than humans. Anders said she could have been a serial homicider if she got the chance. It seems like she is enjoying talking about it. I think so as well. Right? I've said that a lot in my head, Abby. What a choice of words. What a phrase.
and I would cover them up, and then when they would leave, I would cut them back up, and then I headed out to the truck, and I started loading up the body parts in there, and then I went back to the apartment I was staying at after chopping it up with my roommate. I went to go get rid of the body, and
Okay, so again, she covered up everything, but then she took the body parts out, went back to her house, and was hanging out with the roommate and just, shooting the shit, as they say. And then she went to go get rid of the body, and then the cops got there and were surrounding the place.
then there were cops surrounding the place with their guns out telling us to get down, get on the floor, and that's why I'm in custody today.
Schabuisness also
Okay, so that's how the crime got committed. When she says chopping it up with her roommate, she means like shooting the shit, basically.
Well, what went down was I had bought a bag of dope. I bought it for $50, but I gave him $100 and he didn't give me my $50 back. And what went down between the whole thing, he was a SD, and then I was a Lion King, and then I wasn't supposed to be doing my with my ex.
Okay, so he stiffed her for $50, and because they were rival gangs, she wasn't supposed to be hanging out with him, which could be true considering that she's talking about her family as Latin Kings. Lily said she's so distant from the horror, it's just fun to her, like pulling the wings off of a fly. Yeah, it's sad. I believe the mom came downstairs at some point. The basement was divided into sections. He occupied one side. We can see this in body cam footage. Have you seen the body cam? I have. I'll see if I can find a clip. I don't know if I'll be able to. It was so bizarre. She really wanted his head. She said during her first interview that she left the head, but she really wanted to take it with her. Yes, she did. I remember that. Oh, you're welcome, Vero. I'm glad that you liked it. I remember that I couldn't remember if it was you or Carolina, but I knew that y'all had requested it, so I put that it was for everybody who wanted it. I'm glad that you liked it. The chopping it up with my roommate is on purpose. She ain't trying to get free with an appeal. She's trying to have a better time of her forever stay. Well, I think but the phrase chopping it up with my roommate is the same thing as basically like shooting the shit, hanging out, chilling, talking, relaxing. She don't mean that they were actually chopping up the body. It's a phrase that she's using, I think, but it's weird that she says it like that. Hey, Whit Miller. Somebody had just mentioned that her dad was arrested for SA of a child, and we were talking about how it must be in the family, and we're concerned about her son a little bit. Sam said, I think she's just a loser that wants to talk so tough and cool, aspiring to a lifetime in the pen. No one's impressed inside, though, I bet. I think that's it. I think you got her down to a T. I think half of what she said is bullshit, trying to sound like a badass, like she's proud to be a piece of shit. Absolutely, Kelly. Yep.
But that's what went down. And, SDs and Lion Kings, they ain't good.
Schabuisness mentions in that recording, and according to her poem that she read out, that Shad Thyrion allegedly had stolen from her, and that's why she says she, quote, took him out.
Okay, yeah. Oh, it's going to start back with the call.
I wasn't supposed to be doing business with my ex, but I did. And then what he did, he pocketed the money that I was supposed to have. So I went out and took his out for that. As soon
Okay, so basically he kept her $50 and she was supposed to have that back, so she took him out. She basically committed the homicide because he didn't give her the $50 back.
as that went down, I started chopping up the body because I did one thing for sure. I did have I had a lot of motherfuckers out there.
Taylor Schabuisness was
Okay, so she did it. She started chopping up the bodies because I guess a lot of people would be after her, like rival gang things, I'm assuming is what she means. She does. Wonder if her father did something to her while she was young. I wondered that too when you guys told me that. Let's throw her in a cell with Sarah Boone, Letitia Stout, and Lori Vallow. That would be, I would pay money for them to do that and put a camera in there, like a 24-hour camera feed onto YouTube. I would pay money for that. I would pay good money. Money that I don't have, I would pay for that. Chuckalegs, good to see you. Oh, I'm glad you like seeing Basil and the geese. The Chucker Partridges are going to bring their new kids by here pretty soon. Oh, that's so sweet. Hey, Donna. If you didn't already know, DOJ shut down a dark web pedo website, 120,000 members. Wow, thank you for that good news. I had not heard that. So Donna Gardner said, I came in with news. If you didn't already know, the Department of Justice shut down a dark web pedophilia website. 120,000 members were on the website. Thank you for that. What makes us think he did something to her? Well, I mean, considering that he SA'd a minor, it was a question of whether he could have possibly done something to her and didn't get caught for it. I don't know. Gridlock girls. Okay. Colleen, good to see you. I'd pay money to watch that too, and I have no money with a rescue, right? We would find it. In Florida, I don't know. And I was trying to work that out, and the mental image was just, ugh, I know, it's horrible.
eventually charged.
Okay, let me go to more jail calls.
That I can conceal this crime. You know, I chopped up his body, and then I mean there was a lot of things going on at the time, but
and right here is.
So she chopped up the body to conceal it. She says there was a lot of things going on. I don't know what that means, unless she's talking about a lot of things going on between the rival gangs or something. And so she felt like she had to conceal the crime because she didn't want the Satan's disciples to come after her. I don't know.
Explained all of this to Law and Crime.
I had my niece with me, and she was watching a whole lot of series on Dahmer. A whole lot of series on Dahmer, and then everybody thought I was dating Dahmer, so people were laughing at my saying I was dating Dahmer. I took a picture with his, and then I was trying to put it on a blow-up doll, a customized blow-up doll.
Okay, so she's talking about people thinking she's dating Dahmer just because she took a picture of him beside her on the pillow and him on the phone. Like, yeah, it's a way for trolls to pick on you, but I don't think anybody actually thought she was dating Dahmer. And then she's talking about trying to get a customized blow-up doll with his face on it. I don't know if she's like trying to do that to like feed into the trolls that are picking on her, or she really did have some type of obsession with it.
His face, and then send it off to one of my friends.
In the phone calls with them.
Now, I will say, like, yeah, I will say that because I have bipolar, right? Like, my thing is crafting, okay? So, like, as a side effect of that, I'll get really into something like I got into resin for a while, okay? And I bought all of these molds and all of this resin and all of the paint and all the little things to go in it. And I did it for a while and then I just stopped. I lost interest, okay? And then I got into crochet. I still crochet. I'm still really into it, but like I bought all this yarn, like yarn. I have so much yarn, it's insane. And so you get like really into things. You'll see something and it's almost to a point of obsession with it. And then you'll lose interest. So I'm wondering if hers was like she saw Dahmer and she got really obsessed with it as a side effect of the bipolar, and us getting like really obsessed with things and then losing interest later on. And I'm wondering if that's kind of what happened with the Dahmer thing. Lily Gal said, you can't throw a stone without hitting a woman that hasn't been affected by a form of SA, but we don't go around committing homicide on others. Absolutely. I agree. Oh, really, Sam? Oh, yes, Chandra Vander Ark. I saw parts of that, but I didn't follow that case closely either. The gang stuff and the $50 is all new. Do a stream on the interrogation. Happened the same day as her arrest. Okay. We'll do that at some point. Yeah, absolutely. She's going to have an easier time in prison, but apparently Letitia had a great time there. Hopefully, male prison, at the very least, she will extort someone's ass for everything he gets. Interesting. Is that my bipolar or my ADHD? Oh, it might be the ADHD because I have that too. I thought it was the bipolar, like getting obsessed with something, like, and then losing interest. Oh, really? I'm stuck in my crochet hook, my crochet loop too. Like I could open a yarn store, and I made yarn. Like I made yarn with the organic dyes and things like that. Luckily I've been on crochet for quite a while because I like the fact that we can make blankets. But anyway, I could go on all day about that. All right, go back to this jail call. Poor Shad.
Thyrion and dismembering his body. But she says she's no female Jeffrey Dahmer. She's only killed one person.
Nah. I mean, there's mother out there that, you really want to you beef with hard. I mean, yeah, you want to murk a mother, but no, I mean that's what other mother they be saying on my name that I've killed more than one, but.
So she's saying basically that she was beefing with him because I'm assuming because of the whole Satan disciple thing. I'm going to back it up. Like I'm trying to comprehend.
Only killed one person.
Nah. I mean, there's mother out there that, you really want to you beef with hard. I mean, yeah, you want to murk a mother, but.
So there's people out there that you're hostile towards and you want to commit a homicide of somebody, but.
No, I mean that's what other mother they be saying on my name that I've killed more than one, but man, I'm trying to work on this appeal, and get out.
So there's a lot of people saying that she committed more homicides, but she wants to appeal and get out. So therefore she's like, I haven't done any more homicides. Like, stop saying that because I'm trying to appeal. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting. My husband has ADHD real bad, and he tends to get obsessed with whatever he gets into. He went into a tea phase, made it a hobby somehow. We still have lots of loose leaf teas in the cupboard. That's funny. ADHD, and it's ADHD. So it might be the ADHD. I thought it was the bipolar. I appreciate the correction. I don't think this was the excuse she gave during her interrogation. If I remember correctly, she did it because she wanted to see what it was like. And once she started, she figures she'd just go all the way. I think I do remember hearing that in her interrogation. So do we find it interesting that the story has changed? I had to retire early, had to stay busy. Aw. That's cool, though. I like doing hobbies and stuff. Oh, yeah. I spin yarn, too. I spin wool. I have a bunch in there. I want to show y'all that sometime. Hopefully, when we move and I can set up the spinning wheel, I can show y'all how to spin wool.
Throughout the call, we asked Schabuisness about the crime, but also her personal background. What she wanted to is our booking producer, Diane Kay.
I would like to be a teacher, or I'd like to be a whatever,
I'd like to be still slinging my pussy on the street, but, over here, it's all right.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be obviously for the salaciousness of the comment and for the shock and wow of it. But she basically said, I'd like to still be working as a lady of the night, but over here it's all right. And I don't know if she's saying that she's making money working as a lady of the lockdown hours at the jail or what, but I mean, you don't say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then somebody says, I want to be, a lady of the night. That never happens. She wanted to be something else, but she's looking for that shock and awe.
Okay. All right.
If I had to guess, she probably got paid for doing this and she wants to keep them coming back and paying her. Oh, you're good, Colleen. Yeah. Evidently. Go on with your bad self.
Right. Well, that makes sense.
It absolutely does not make any sense, but I appreciate you trying to be nice, I guess.
Law and crime.
Okay, let's go to the next one. My mouse wouldn't move. Okay.
The most recent one, when my attorney, he was calling my and he was saying I need another competency here, and he kept on calling my.
Okay, so she's saying that the attorney was calling her the R word, RETARTED, and saying that she needed another basically psychological test because she was stupid, is what she's saying, and that he was sticking his tongue out at her.
His tongue out at me, and so I went off on his. But the one.
Okay, so she went off on him and she was fighting him because he was calling her stupid and saying she needed a competency test and sticking his tongue out at her. The one before that, I think, is the dad situation.
Before that, he was doing the same thing too, saying like about competency. He kept on saying you need more competency hearings.
So evidently she feels like them wanting a competency hearing is saying that she's stupid, and it's not. If you're pleading insanity, you got to have a bunch of competency hearings. Yeah, not stupid knucking futs. Someone please tell the reporter they should be honest during all news to the public. Right, Titanium? Exactly. Well, he was dead before she was alive. Really? Are you talking about the dad or Dahmer? That was in her head. Probably.
More competency hearings. They constantly keep on saying that, and I said, no, I'm straight. I'm straight. My dad showed up in the back of the courtroom.
Okay, so basically they're saying you need more competency hearings, and she's saying, no, I'm good. Like she's relating competency hearings to saying she's stupid, and I don't think that's the case at all. It's that they're trying to prove insanity, so therefore, yeah, it's going to be a lot of competency hearings. That's a good question, Sam. I wonder if her mom's still living too. Dahmer, okay. Jenny Jen said, no, ma'am, stop it. Calm your tits. We need this chat to get a craft support group together. Our addiction is real. It is. Maybe we should get a addiction for crafts thing going. I have done like all there is to do. Like if there's a new thing out there, I got to try it.
And as soon as he popped through, that was my dad's previous attorney too, and then he had just fired his. He said, "Get this guy off your case."
So yeah, her dad came in, and her dad used the same lawyer, and her dad said, "Get the guy off your case," because evidently they think he's not a good lawyer. So when her dad came in, she decided to show her ass and show off in front of her dad and punch him, which tells me a lot about the family dynamic. Like that's important to me because she's trying to impress her dad, and so she goes to the extent of fighting with her attorney in the middle of court. Like forget the courtroom, forget looking a certain way, forget trying to be found innocent of a crime that's going to send you to jail for the rest of your life. Forget all that. Let me whoop my attorney's ass to impress my dad. That's a lot right there. I do have chunky yarn. Kelly said, don't get me started on hobbies. I bought an entire 25 by 20 storage unit this weekend because it was full of furniture that needs redone. And I live in a 2-bedroom apartment where nowhere to put any of it. I want to do some of that. I want to redo furniture. Her mom died. She had a really good life up till then because her passing affected her dad a lot. Oh, man. I wonder if she's schizophrenic too. I'm an RN. She reminds me of one, especially imagining people are against you. I doubt her lawyer stuck his tongue out at her. I agree. Depends on her state. Some states don't allow them to make money off their crime, but states have done laws on it. The Son of Sam laws. Yeah, I'll see if there's any in Wisconsin. Okay.
As soon as my dad popped up in the courtroom when he sat his down, I already knew it was go time, and that's when I had to go in. So then that's when I went in and I fired it.
Taylor Schabuisness went to trial in July of 2023. She pleaded not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect, and she stands by that.
Definitely insane. You know, I should have went back to Chicago. I should have went domicile, but I didn't do that. I stayed up north. I stayed around in Green Bay. I went back to where my bracelet was at, and to continue going to work, and then continue on from there. But
so she's saying she should have went back to Texas, but she went up there instead and wore her bracelet, her ankle monitor, and then went to court and got basically hanging out with the wrong people, places, and doing the wrong thing. Hanging out with the wrong people in the wrong places and doing the wrong things.
And said, I just smoked up with my roommate, and that was that.
To be clear, though, Taylor.
Okay. So she stayed up there and smoked with her roommate and made the wrong choices. So that now she's got all this to go through.
She wrote a handwritten.
And we'll look at this letter one more time. And then we'll go on. So again, it gives the case number. State of Wisconsin versus Taylor Schabuisness, Court of Appeals, IMA, IMMA, IMA, not I'm going to, I am, IMA, and then the next word is voluntary, not voluntarily, but IMA voluntary, dismiss the no merit and extend the time to file a post-conviction motion. That's her letter to the judge. Yeah, go back to Texas and keep slinging, I guess. Oh, those are cute. My daughter just did a little strawberry. It was adorable. Okay, so that's what I have on Taylor Schabuisness right now. Let me see about the Son of Sam laws. I know I misspelled that. Okay, so it says, yes, Wisconsin has Son of Sam laws. These laws are designed to prevent convicted criminals from profiting from the publicity of their crimes, such as selling their stories to publishers or filmmakers. Wisconsin, like other many states, has enacted similar laws to ensure that any income earned from such sales is directed towards the victims of the crimes. So then technically she didn't get paid for that interview. She probably did it for the notoriety of it, but there's ways around it, I'm sure. She was making attempts to get her life together and was doing good when this happened. Really, Abraham? Are you talking about Schabuisness? What did you post? Yeah, it was like gang letters. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Dainty. I appreciate it. Hey, Sweet. Sweet said, go Bears. I know. Her poor son. All right. Excuse me. I'm going to write down this timestamp. Whoa, good Lord. An hour and 50 minutes. I didn't know we had been on that long. Okay. 50. I try to write down the timestamp so that people who missed the live can skip to what they wanted to see. Now we're going to talk about the Bibb County 7 out of Alabama. Now, this is going to be very triggering. It's a very hard case to hear, but basically 7 people were just busted for trafficking of children ages 3 to 15 in an underground bunker. They got charges like a bestiality, all the things that go along with trafficking, torture because they would tie them up. It's going to be very hard to hear. They did go to court. Even the police officers and sheriff of Bibb County was very upset and emotionally disturbed when he had to talk about the case. Some of the people convicted were the parents, and one had a gang affiliation. She was working on getting her kid back. Was she really, Abraham? Oh, don't you come over here making me feel sorry for her. This evil monster. That's what came out during trial. Don't you come over here making me feel sorry for her. A ton of us trying to make our lives better, but never in my life would I ever go south like that. Yeah, that's true. All right, thank you guys. So, yep, they went to court, and so we're going to see what happened. This, again, is the Bibb County 7.
Scott, thank you. 3 of the 7 defendants in the Bibb County child sex trafficking ring are now being held without bond. This comes after their original hearings were canceled today. CBS 42's Maddie McQueen is live in the newsroom with what happened in court today. Maddie, you were there.
Sherry, that's right. Now, Ricky Terrell, Sarah Terrell, and Rebecca Brewer were supposed to have an Anaya's Law hearing this afternoon.
Now, the Brewers, Ricky Brewer and Becky Brewer, I think is what they said. I think that they could possibly be parents. Obviously, they're related somehow, and there was some type of family kind of thing going on. They were having family members come over and abuse. I don't know, but those two, with them having the same last name, I have been most interested in. I'm wondering if those are the parents. And if so, they need to get the life in prison, death penalty, all the things.
Instead, District Attorney Robert Turner Jr. says the 3 will be having preliminary hearings in August. And now let's take a look at this video that we got of them coming in and out of the courtroom today. You can see this is Ricky Terrell walking. According to DA Turner, an Anaya's hearing allows for judges to deny bond to defendants who are charged with violent crimes beyond capital murder, crimes like sexual torture, kidnapping, rape, and sodomy.
And those are like on children, 3 to 15. Some of them their own children. Abraham, I was picking on you, but yeah, Abraham said, oh no, let's not feel sorry. She was making attempts to get her life together and getting the kid back and even had a decent job, but she chose to go down this path. Thank you for that. I want you to know I was picking on you. I didn't want you to feel singled out. This is horrible, and please don't stay if it's going to upset you, because it's really bad. It's like the worst I've ever heard of.
Turner says part of the stipulation of canceling the Anaya's Law hearing was that the defendants be held on no bond until their preliminary hearings. He says the state was prepared today to prove the defendants were a threat to society and the severity and heinous nature of the crimes committed. But after talking with the defense, they agreed to move to a preliminary hearing. At the preliminary hearing, the state must establish probable cause of the offenses happening. Turner says this is the first non-murder Anaya's Law hearing that resolved itself this fast.
So what is Anaya's Law? Hey, y'all coming in. Okay. It's Anaya's. Anaya's Law is a proposed piece of legislation in Alabama named after Anaya Blanchard, a 19-year-old college student who was kidnapped and homicided in 2019. The case drew significant public attention and highlighted perceived inadequacies in the existing legal system regarding violent offenders. And they said this is the first time that Anaya's Law was presented in a case that didn't have to do with homicide. It's enacted to improve public safety and prevent violent crimes. It's probably going to go to a big old thing, and I'm not going to be able to find the part. Hold on. Okay. Anaya's Law, Alabama was created to prevent situations where potentially dangerous defendants are released on bond and able to commit more violent crimes before their trial. It aims to improve public safety by giving judges more discretion to deny bonds to defendants charged with certain violent offenses. So that makes sense. And they said this case was the first time it was ever suggested for a case that wasn't homicide.
Whenever you have cases that involve children victims or child victims, it shocks people to the core. The majority of us have children, so whenever you hear a case that involves kids, you automatically think of your own. So the facts are shocking, they are disturbing, but we have chosen a profession where we deal with cases.
The preliminary hearings for Ricky Terrell, Sarah Terrell, and Rebecca Brewer are scheduled for August 21st. Reporting live in the newsroom, Maddie McQueen, CBS 42 News.
Okay. So, I did have a couple on that. This one is
When I tell you
Bibb County investigation seen as a wake-up call for spotting signs of child abuse sooner. And then it talks about how the community is in prayer about it. No, the fact that we could even, I don't even think they should have had a bond hearing because, I mean, these children are still out there. They're in the community. They're going to have to be in that county so that they can be taken care of in the foster cares that they're at. And I mean, could you imagine maybe being at the store with your foster parent after having been through all this horrific trauma and then seeing one of them? Oh God, no, absolutely not. They need to stay where the hell they're at. Basil just came in. It's very disturbing. They wish they came with neon signs. Yeah. And that's what the registering as a sex offender is supposed to kind of do, but I don't think that they had any convictions, legal of them anyway. It's sad. I wish that there was a lot. I wish law enforcement had a lot more resources and ability to do a lot more things that aren't exactly legal. Okay, Cara, have a good day, love.
When I tell you I feel like I've seen it all and heard it all, this is shocking even to me.
The investigation into an unthinkable child abuse case in Bibb County is far from over. 7 people are behind bars accused of horrific crimes against children as young as 3.
Authorities fear more victims are out there and more perpetrators too. ABC 3340's Gracie Johnson spoke with a trafficking expert. And Gracie, she is shedding light on just how deep this kind of abuse can run and why early recognition and recovery are so difficult.
Muriel, yes, I spoke with Carolyn Potter, CEO of the Well House, who works directly with trafficking survivors. She explains why this case follows a familiar and heartbreaking pattern.
The fact that it's a familiar and heartbreaking pattern says all too much. He did. He come in and put his chin on my leg, wanting some attention before he goes lays down in front of that AC I have. I hate that this is a familiar pattern. I mean, it shouldn't be at all whatsoever, but I am glad that there's agencies out there to help these children and get them the help they need.
And what's needed to help the children now coming forward.
That's the bunker. That's where these things happened. Oh, it's just so messed up. Sad. I mean, it's like the sheriff said, something that was built to save lives, used in a way to hurt so many.
The vileness, the evil of that just went to the very core of my soul.
What investigators say happened in rural Bibb County is almost impossible to comprehend.
So yeah, it is that house, that thing. So it looks like it's just maybe a kitchen, or like it really is not even a house. It's like a little add-on, and then there's a carport behind it, and evidently the bunker was behind the carport. This is the roof of the little add-on. It's got like one door in the front and one window, and then right behind it is like one of the metal carport things that like just has the roof, and then there's like the metal bars on the side is what it looks like.
A storm shelter, originally built as a place of safety, became the scene of unimaginable alleged abuse.
Hey,
10
Big Patch.
children, some as young as 3 years old.
Yes, we talked about Taylor Schabuisness. We just switched over to this. So if you want to rewind it, the information on Taylor is all there. Nice to meet you, Big Patch.
So far, 7 people have been arrested.
I've been in law enforcement for 33 years, and this is absolutely the most horrible thing I've ever seen when it comes to victimization of children.
Carolyn Potter works with trafficking survivors from across the country through the Well House, a recovery center in Alabama. She says the signs of trafficking are often present, just not always recognized.
We need to do a better job of educating our teachers and our counselors and our caseworker on what trauma looks like and on the signs of human trafficking, because I would wager just about anything that those children showed signs.
Yep. Authorities say the children were participating in normal activities, including attending school. Yet the abuse had been taking place since around 2022.
Could you imagine, like, finding out that a child that was in your classroom or friends with one of your children had been enduring this for 3 years? They're still going to school every day, everything's fine, and they're enduring this horrible torment at night when they go home. It's really sad and absolutely just heartbreaking. I don't even know. Heartbreaking is almost cliche for this. There's no word. I mean, my God, I hope they get the help they need. I really do.
Do not think that anybody that was not involved in this directly was aware that it was going on.
When I tell you, I feel like I've seen it all and heard it all. This is shocking even to me that it went on this long without anyone knowing about it or being able to do anything.
Now, with the investigation still ongoing, the focus is also shifting to recovery.
I mean, I don't know why you're hiding your face. You won't hide in your face when you were doing those horrible things, making $1,000 a night. Why are you hiding your face now?
Still ongoing, the focus is also shifting to recovery. Potter says the children will need more than a rescue. They'll need long-term care.
They've already been in contact with counselors and they're getting the help they need, the medical help they need, the emotional and psychological help that we can best provide them.
Yet sadly, the 10 child victims identified in this case so far aren't the only ones.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot more that's going to come out, unfortunately.
And that presser was Friday and today's Monday, and they're already saying there's more victims other than the 10 that were between the ages of fucking 3 years old and 15. 10-year-olds. Oh my God. It's.
There are more. There are more children across our state, across our country, who are enduring horrific crimes like these.
I spoke with Sheriff Wade this morning. He said they have not yet made any additional arrests in this case, but they are actively working on uncovering additional suspects. The sheriff's office urges anyone with any information to contact them in the newsroom. Gracie Johnson.
And anybody with information should contact the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. Let me get that phone number and I'll put it in the description. Bibb County Sheriff's Office in Alabama. The phone number is 205-926-4683. And I will make sure that is also in the description of the video. We do, hold on. We do have
the Bibb County community is
a moment of, it says Bibb County community unites in prayer after child sex trafficking ring uncovered.
Coming together to support one another after authorities uncovered a child sex trafficking ring in the city of Brent. WVTM 13 Zoe Blair was outside the county courthouse this morning as people gathered to lift up the victims in prayer.
The prayer vigil was held in the grass right where I'm standing, and the location has a deeper meaning. It was right here in front of the Bibb County Courthouse where the suspects in this case will one day face their verdict.
So the sheriff was talking about that there is a law. I think it's if you're convicted of a crime like this, then it's automatic. You're facing the death penalty. There was something that was in the presser that told us that they would be facing the death penalty. Oh yeah, please hit the thumbs up. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Everybody who has, I appreciate it. I'm hoping that they will too. The way the sheriff was acting and how hurt he was, I think that they will.
Singing Amazing Grace. And praying for healing. The Centerville community is coming together to support the victims of a Bibb County sex trafficking ring. So far, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office knows of at least 10 victims ranging in age from 3 to 15 years old. The details of the abuse they faced are graphic. An investigator.
See, what is this? It's like the carport is right here, okay? And the bunker was under there. But what even is it? Like, that's the house? What is that? Like, it can't be but like a room and a sink and a toilet and a stove. I mean, you can make any place home, and what they did here is absolutely disgusting. I'm just curious if this is what they're calling a home. Ugh. And there's no children's toys out. It's like if there were children living there, there's no sign of children living there. Drama said, I wonder what part of the state this is in. There's a lot of rural areas in Alabama. My grandson graduated from Jacksonville State University in Alabama. Emergency management presidents list all 4 years. That's awesome. I'll pull up a map to show you where it's at in just a minute.
Believe it's been happening for at least 2 years. Many of the folks who attended the vigil say even though they don't know who the victims are, they want to do whatever they can to support them.
Community is everything, and when we isolate ourselves, things can get even worse. And so I think it's so important, even if we can't maybe be hands-on support, as we support them in prayers and just they know a community is behind them. I think it's just vital for their healing.
If you missed today's vigil, that's okay. They're having another one tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at the Presbyterian Church.
Okay, so they are having vigils for it. Maybe we can look that up. This shows where Bibb County is. It's like right in the middle of the state. Okay, let me see if I can pull up the vigil real quick. We got, I know you can't see it. I'll pull up this article real quick. So it says Bibb County unites in vigil seeking solace amid child trafficking revelations. This is 2 minutes. We'll listen to this real quick after they do a freaking ad. Didn't y'all tell me there's some type of ad blocker? I need to look into that.
Where you can. And also in Bibb County over the weekend, the Centerville community came together praying for children, praying for families impacted after that recent child trafficking scandal.
This has been a really tough story to have to report on. We know that 10 children, some as young as just 3 years old, were sexually abused and trafficked in an underground bunker. Jocelyn Belev from our sister station in Tuscaloosa reports.
We shouldn't be known for this. We shouldn't be labeled for the evil that has happened in our communities. We should be known as a praying town. All we're doing today is asking people, to put their hands, wrap their arms around this community, wrap their arms around the victims and the victims' families who are really the ones suffering.
For one longtime resident of Centerville, the tragedy feels deeply personal.
It's so emotional of what's happened in our town.
I agree. Abraham said, I think schools need to have one-on-one sessions with every student throughout the years, asking if they are enduring any of these horrors at home in safe environments and by professionals where, yeah, exactly, where they don't come out and ask, put horrors like this in their mind, but find out, that they're safe at home. Drama said he joined the National Guard While there, then commissioned in the Army, now flies Apache helicopters. He was stationed at Fort Rucker for flight school, now oceans away. That's amazing. Congratulations. I know you're proud. That's awesome. The sad thing is these type of things happen all over the world. They do. Yeah, a lot of kids don't know that it's okay to report.
It's always been a great town and safe, and nothing like this has ever happened before. So we're all devastated, and we just hope that justice is done to the full degree. We've got a lot of great law officers and a sheriff and everybody.
Organizers wanted to provide a space for the community to come together in response to the disturbing reports that have emerged this week involving child trafficking and abuse. The Centerville community held the vigil just days after the shocking discovery that at least 10 children, some as young as 3 years old, were victims of a coordinated sex trafficking operation in Brent.
That abuse took the place of bedtime stories. That abuse took the place of tucking kids in at night. That abuse took the place of, hey, let's go to the ballpark and have a fun day.
Despite the strain the situation has placed on the community, residents are choosing to focus on the positive as they look toward healing and moving forward.
We have not seen all the bad that's going to come from this, but we haven't seen all the good that can come. You know, we have to be strong. We have to keep our faith. We just pray that God will, have his say. He will.
And that was Jocelyn Malev reporting. Investigators have charged 7 people in this case. 3 suspects waived their right to bond, choosing to remain in custody. The suspects face allegations including.
So it was these 3 that waived their right to bond and remained in custody. And that's the 2 Terrells, and then the other 4.
The suspects face allegations including.
These had not gone to court yet, from what I understand. And I'll check and see if anything's new is out on it before we go for the day.
Human trafficking, kidnapping, rape, sexual torture, and child sex abuse.
Okay. I got this one real quick. It says everything we know about the investigation so far. So I'll read that, and then we can maybe briefly talk about the dancing cult, because I'm kind of interested in that. Okay. This is Alabama child sex trafficking ring, everything we know about the Bibb County bunker investigation so far. Authorities in Bibb County uncovered a sex trafficking ring involving at least 10 victims that has been happening for at least 2 years in an underground storm shelter. The investigation, which was announced on July 19th of 2025, but began months earlier in February, has led to the arrest of 7 suspects, with more arrests and charges expected. The Department of Homeland Security is assisting in the investigation, including looking into possible gang ties and the immigration status of the suspects. There is a picture of the bunker. Quote, I've been in law enforcement for 33 years, and this is absolutely the most horrible thing I've ever seen when it comes to the victimization of children. I know God's forgiveness is boundless, but if there was a limit to it, I think we've reached it, unquote, said Sheriff Jody Wade. There's our 7 suspects: Andres Trejo, William Chase McElroy, Dalton Terrell, Timothy St. John, Rebecca Brewer, Ricky Terrell, and Sarah Terrell. So Sarah Terrell, Ricky Terrell, and Dalton Terrell are related somehow. I don't know how, though. What investigators uncovered, a child sex trafficking ring was discovered in Bibb County, Alabama. The crimes occurred in an underground storm shelter near a home in Brent. At least 10 children ages 3 to 15 were victimized, with more victims expected to be identified. 7 suspects have been arrested so far, and authorities anticipate additional arrests and charges. The investigation began in February after reports of sexual abuse. The storm shelter in Bibb County contained chairs, beds, and other items used to restrain and drug the children. Assistant District Attorney described the scene inside the storm shelter, saying, quote, There were chairs and beds and things of that nature, and the children were drugged by Mr. Trejo and tied to the bed, into the chair, into a pole, and then people would come and pay money to have relations with these children. A photo of the storm shelter has been released to help trigger the memory of victims who may have been drugged. Quote, there are some allegations with individuals that we will have a hard time identifying just because we don't know their names. And the children were drugged, according to one of the co-defendants, and so they may not be able to recognize or to identify anyone, Jones said. The following individuals have been charged in connection with the case. William Chase McElroy faces charges of sexual abuse, rape, human trafficking, sodomy, and kidnapping. Dalton Terrell is charged with rape, sodomy, human trafficking, and kidnapping. Anders Trejo is charged with human trafficking. Timothy St. John faces charges of rape, sodomy, kidnapping, bestiality, and animal abuse. Rebecca Brewer is charged with human trafficking. Ricky Terrell is charged with rape. Sarah Terrell is charged with sexual torture or abuse and sexual abuse of a child younger than 12. Rebecca Brewer, Sarah Terrell, and Ricky Terrell appeared for an Anaya's law hearing Thursday, which a judge agreed to cancel after they spoke with their attorneys and agreed to no bond. Robert Turner Jr., district attorney for the 4th Judicial Circuit Court, said, quote, to avoid the repetition of having the facts come out over and over and over again in open court, they probably made the tactical decision to have a preliminary hearing and allow the evidence to be heard probably once before we go to trial, unquote. Some suspects have confessed while others have not. Officials said some suspects have provided information that has been critical to the investigation. The Bibb County community gathered outside the courthouse for a prayer vigil on Saturday, July 26th, after authorities uncovered a child sex trafficking ring in Brent. Although the victims have not been identified publicly, the community is coming together to pray for their physical and emotional healing. A second vigil was held the next day at a church in Bibb County. Authorities believe there may be additional suspects and victims. Anyone with information is asked to contact Bibb County Sheriff's Office at 205-926-4683. If you or someone you know needs help, you can talk with the sexual abuse hotline by calling 1-800-656-4673. Well, that was hard. Yeah, it's rape of the back door. Okay. I think that's about all we have on that right now. Now, I found this, hold on. Hold on just a minute. I found this information about some type of TikTok, Netflix dance cult thing. And I saw where the news had like busted into a home in LA. And no, wrong one. That's where I did the poll. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. So I made a post about this. I said, y'all, what the hell is this here? Have you heard about this? And we can watch this real quick, but I had never heard of this when I saw this. So I was like, what even is this? So we'll watch it. And then I found like a video on it. It's rather long. I don't know if we'll be able to watch all of it today, but we can at least get some idea of what it is. And maybe you guys can tell me more about it. But I'm going to kind of learn about it with you guys today.
Now to this, a quiet Tahunga neighborhood rocked by flashbangs. Federal agents storm a property tied to the shocking allegations of sex trafficking. That dramatic raid today tied to an alleged Tic Tok cult.
Fox 11's Gina Silva. She joins us now live in Tahunga with more there. Gina?
Well, it may have started as a Netflix documentary, but now it is a full-blown federal investigation. Now, right behind me, this property is usually closed up tight every single day, but today, federal agents ran through that gate.
Attention, attention. Anyone inside, come to the front door
It sounded like gunshots to me.
Those are going to probably be flashbangs because nobody came out.
In the early morning hours, local and federal law enforcement arrived in this quiet Tahunga neighborhood to serve a search warrant, alleging sex trafficking, money laundering, tax evasion, mail fraud, and COVID-19 pandemic-related fraud.
So that was a litany of charges. Sex trafficking, the money laundering could be related to the COVID-19 pandemic-related fraud. Mail fraud, what is that going to be? Like opening somebody's mail or sending things through the mail, like money, maybe the money that was laundered, and tax evasion, not paying your taxes or lying on it.
Pandemic-related fraud.
It's really, really creepy, and this is a really great, quiet little community, and a lot of families.
They must have rammed the gate to get in there. Look at that.
Yeah, I saw that when she was standing in front of it. They definitely rammed the gate.
The front gate of the property lies mangled and twisted, clear evidence of a forced entry. Sky Fox captured video of 5 people in handcuffs.
Wow.
This is the same location tied to Shekinah Church and 7M Films, both at the center of serious allegations in a Netflix documentary released in May 2024.
7M, an entertainment company founded by Robert Shin, who's also the pastor of LA-based Shekinah Church.
The documentary, titled Dancing for the Devil, the 7M Tic Tok Cult, alleges emotional and psychological manipulation.
It started out fairly innocuous, but the control slowly grew.
We feel liberated. We feel that finally maybe there's a chance for justice to be served.
Melanie Lee joined Shekinah Church at 15 and left in her 20s. She accuses Pastor Shin of abuse and running the group as a cult.
Wow. I mean, you see these, Lord, I could pull up shorts right now on YouTube and show you a litany of people just dancing. That's interesting. It reminds me of the other cult with that had the girl with the Nexium. Nexium, I think is what it was called. Becky said, glad the feds finally got involved. Content, good to see you. When you send lies via the mail, they charge you with mail fraud. Was in Topanga. Interesting. Lorianne, good to see you. This is in LA. The Bibb County thing was in Alabama. Yeah, that was in Bibb County, Alabama, Lorianne. Mail fraud is when you use the UPS to send it, like, say, supporting documents to loan. That's fraudulent. Okay. Thank you. I loved watching the dancers, but people talk about how hollow some of their eyes look, robotic, brainwashed. Interesting.
After years of urging law enforcement to investigate, she now says she feels vindicated.
I know for a fact that they will find things that he's done that are, evil. I mean, he's a criminal. I can definitely say that, whatever's coming for him, he deserves it.
Right now, the search warrant is sealed, so we don't have an idea as to what the agents were looking for at this specific property. But former members say whatever it is, they're confident the agents will find it. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
How long, Gina, have federal investigators been working this case?
The documentary came out in May of 2024. We don't know how long ago this investigation started, and like I said, the search warrant is still sealed, so we don't know the details. But the former member we spoke with has been part of the investigation, and she says that they've been working very hard on this for quite some time. She didn't give me a timeline.
Gina Silva, thank you for your reporting.
Interesting.
Trafficking and money laundering raid at a...
Okay, so I did find some kind of thing about it. I need to check the source again real quick to make sure that I don't get in trouble. Okay, so this is from Law and Crime Network, and it's from a year ago, and it's titled "The Details," quote, "Dancing for the Devil Missed, the True Story of the 7M Tic Tok Cult." I'm going to skip it ahead. Oh, it's going to be Annie Elise video on Law and Crime, so we'll talk about it. I mean, we can go through it. I'm going to try to skip through it a little bit, but we'll play some of it.
I should say, that we're talking about today, it is a doozy. So basically,
I do too.
Recently I saw this trailer on Netflix for this upcoming project that they're releasing. And it's about a story that I actually heard about quite a few years ago. But at the time when I heard about it, I didn't know if it was true. I didn't know if it was all just speculation or rumors. So I really never gave it a second thought. But then after seeing this trailer, of course, my curiosity had piqued and I was like, okay, I need to do like a full deep dive. I need to figure out these updates. I need to figure out what the truth is, what's going on. And guys, what I found was so far more disturbing than what I ever imagined that it truly blew my mind.
So I'm going to grab Annie Elise's link and drop that in chat for you guys. This is from Law and Crime Network, but I've seen them play Mr. Black, I think is his name. They do a lot of like where these people, I guess they like subcontract them and get their videos. I think this one's for the 10 to Life, but I am going to drop her link so you guys can subscribe to her. She does a really great job. How do I? There we go. Okay, she does a really great job. One day I hope I can be as awesome as she is. Probably won't ever be that big, but it's nice to dream. All right, so let's see what she's got to say, what she found out. I love her little setup there. Like I used to watch her before she had all that, and I saw when she redid it and she started coming live with all of that stuff. I thought it was amazing.
My breath away, I'll actually say. So because of that, I had to do a full deep dive and that I had to come on here and share this with you because it is truly an insane story. So with that, we're going to get right into it. But before we do, I do want to say everything in this video is alleged or cited from other sources. Anything else is my opinion only. And as always, please remember to do your own research and form your own opinions. Now with that, let's get right into it. So do you guys remember back in 2020 when TikTok first came on the scene? It was like booming. Everybody was at home because of quarantine, so nobody really had anything to do. They were posting videos, doing dances to popular songs, and it seemed like a lot of people on that app kind of just like blew up overnight.
Thank you guys for all the sweet comments. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Aw. I appreciate that. I love our speculating family. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Now, TikTok started primarily more with dances, if you remember. Now it's kind of a hodgepodge of everything on TikTok, from like cooking to true crime. That's actually where I started, all different things. But it really started with these dances where like one mega TikToker would create a dance and then everybody would basically mimic that dance and do their own version of it. So while this was happening, a lot of people who actually had a background in dance took this very seriously, while other people were just at home bored with the quarantine and they were just kind of doing it to kill time, having fun with the app. Other people were taking it far more seriously, almost using their TikTok account as like a digital portfolio of sorts.
And that makes a lot of sense. Like we see and hear these song, Lord have mercy, there's one song, I can't stand it. It's like Jamaican or something, and I swear to God, this guy come in and is like, y'all, I'm gonna give you a trigger warning. There's not supposed to be any kids here, but it's like, he says, I shit you not, he says, the pussy feel me fucking, and something else. It's that one, like if this song makes you shake your butt or something, or shake, if this song makes you something, shake, I don't know, but it's disgusting, right? And they took that song where he's like, this guy comes in, that's the backup singer, and he's like, the pussy feel me fucking, and I'm like, oh my God. And it'll be like a video on how to make freaking sourdough bread, and they're playing that in the background, and I'm like, why? So again, what it is, that's not related to dancing, but they'll take these songs and they'll make these dances to them, and then it becomes viral. It's disgusting. That damn song, I can't stand it. I wish they'd ban it. But anyway, Jay the Italian Cookie said, I watch everyone that puts out good content. I'm not into drama. Thank you for that. I try not to be into drama. I don't do drama. I had a little bit of drama that involved myself, but now we're past that. And so back to just true crime. Thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. These people are evil. I tell you, just like BK, there are aliens walking around. I'm not opposed to that. I think it's possible. Abraham said, oh my God, I know, right? I thought the same thing when I started listening closely to those lyrics. Yeah, I was like, what? Why? Stop. Stop. Lord have mercy. And like kids will be down. Oh God, it's depraved. But let me get off my little soapbox.
Then, when certain people who did have a background in dance, such as Charlie D'Amelio, Addison Rae, when these people started blowing up overnight, and we had spinoffs of like Hype House, which was like a TikToker house, and all of these things, it kind of just made other viewers aspire to have that even more. So they took it even more seriously, kept posting, kept doubling down on all of it. And it was kind of interesting because just like that, many of these quote unquote influencers were born.
I'll look it up. Abellis, I can't think of the name off the top of my head because I blocked it out. But it's a pretty girl from Jamaica, and it's like if the song makes you something, then shake it or something.
Born overnight. So today's case is centered around a 27-year-old girl named Miranda Wilking Derrick. She's a very well-known dancer, choreographer, and also a social media influencer. Now, her sister Melanie also shared interest in dance ever since she was young, and she is extremely talented. So the two of them together made a joint TikTok account where they would both dance, they would both share dances, all sorts of things like that.
Hey, Wilkings and Queens, we're the Wilking sisters, and welcome back to another episode of What's Next? Have you ever wanted to make your own TikTok dance? We're going to teach you some moves that are trending on TikTok right now so that you can do just that. Let's get started.
All right,
the first move is the whoa.
Oh, I thought it was a commercial for some reason, but she's doing the I was looking for that song, and she's showing the TikTok dances.
We toss it up and whoa.
Wilking sisters are probably some of the most exciting dancers that you have on TikTok, right? Meow. Yeah. Miranda, Melanie, how you guys doing this morning?
Great. How are you doing? Good.
I can't complain. I like the denim thing we got going on right now.
Oh, I know. We totally planned this. I'm sorry. That's why I'm in the middle.
It's like a denim sandwich.
We're in formation.
Yeah.
And because of how talented they were, it's really no surprise that their account, which was called the Wilking Sisters, came and reached a popularity of over 2 million followers at one point. Now, if you're thinking, okay, Annie, is this just going to be an episode that's like a puff piece about these two dancers and TikTok? No, not even in the slightest. I'm just giving you a little bit of a backstory. But this episode is actually going to be focusing on how certain influencers became of what some people believe is a full-blown cult. Again, allegedly. And you may have heard people refer to it as the 7M TikTok cult. But before we go into all of that, we do need to talk about Miranda first.
So the song, I can't find it, but it says that awful word. That guy comes in and says that, and then the girl says, oh, you're dealing with the boss. Shake it, pum, pum, fast and something. Make me come fast. And it's new. But I can't think of it. But she says, oh, you're dealing with the boss in that Jamaican accent. And then it says, shake the pum pum fast. And I can't remember the rest of it. Y'all might know what it is. I'm not going to try to sing it.
As mentioned, everything that we're going to be talking about has either been sourced from Rolling Stone magazine, other articles, court documents, interviews, but anything else is just alleged or my opinion only. So again, do your own research.
Said nope.
But Miranda grew up in Michigan with her younger sister Melanie, as I mentioned, and Miranda's early love for dance led her to attend all sorts of local dance schools. She also participated in numerous competitions. However, her big break really came when she competed in the 12th season of that show, So You Think You Can Dance.
My name is Miranda Wilking.
Hi, and
Hello.
How old are you, Miranda?
I am 18 today. Today's my birthday.
So I remember hearing about this Miranda Wilkins. Well, you know, Southern Cats, a lot of times they are completely fake because they're putting on the persona and that's what they're selling you in their dances and all of that. This persona of somebody that's not even real. That's one thing I can't do. Like, it's not possible for me to be somebody that I'm not. And if I'm upset or something, like I'm one of those people that like you can tell exactly how I'm feeling or what I think by the look on my face. Like I cannot hide it. If I think something or like if I taste something and think that it's nasty, you can tell by the look on my face. I cannot. It's I can't hide it. So therefore, I am a very honest person. I am myself. Nobody applauded for me when I turned 18 either, Tom. So you're not alone.
And have you been watching So You Think You Can Dance for a while?
Oh, yes, I
And
have.
thought, I can't wait till I'm 18 and I go and audition?
You have no idea.
How cool, though. You turned 18 on the day that the auditions were
I
here.
know. I was like, yes,
Yeah,
finally.
fantastic.
Must be meant to be.
Well, let's
Yep.
keep our fingers crossed that it was meant to be.
All right.
And good luck. Here you go.
So Miranda becomes the youngest member of Team Stage in Vegas. And the day's off to a celebratory start.
That was the best birthday by far. Oh my gosh.
This was back in 2015, and this significantly boosted her profile in the dance community.
Oh, no.
She even danced for Katy Perry and the rapper Flo Rida at one point.
Hi guys, I'm Melanie. I'm Miranda, and we're the Wilking Sisters. Today we're going to be doing a frequently asked question video. One question that we get asked, I feel like we get asked this every single day. Every single day. But that is, are you guys twins? And we're not twins. We are actually 2 years apart. And I'm older. I'm 20. And I'm 18. But most people think I'm older because I'm taller. But she's the baby. Another question. So another question is, when did we start musically? I would say we started musically probably about 1.5 years ago. Because I heard about it, I saw some videos, and then I started making like the singy videos. And then what we did is we wanted to make it kind of different. And because we're dancers, we wanted to add some dancing into it. So we have a really good friend who kind of inspired us to start doing the tutting and everything. So we just started doing that, and then we just kept making those. Yes, and it was fun, and it kind of worked. Another question is, when do we...
So even while they're answering these questions, I can tell how fake it is. Rosie, if you're here, you said good intro, so I think you might be at the beginning. But if you're here and you hear me, it's nice to meet you. Mary Shay, good to see you. She is a wackadoodle. Oh my goodness, who are we talking about? This girl here? Nice to meet you, Mary. Yeah, I'm weird about it too. I get nervous. Yeah, I can tell but they're putting on a persona to seem a lot different than they actually are, in my opinion.
We start dancing, and we started dancing when we were like 2 years old. We were babies in like baby ballet and stuff. We went to a studio, got to dance back home. And
Shout out to Gotta Dance. We love you guys so much.
So we started going there. We went there all through our lives, and then just continued it when 18 years of dancing. That makes me feel so old.
Okay, so yeah, Michelle, they're part of this like church cult thing that just got busted in LA. I feel like totally, yeah. Oh, thank you, Rosie. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here and watching. I appreciate it. Mary Shay, who were you talking about when you said up here she is a wackadoodle? The girl in the video? Oh, she might be talking about Schabuisness. I'll have to say hey in chat. Yeah, I wouldn't either. It would get on my damn nerves, like, so quick. No, they're not deceased or anything. For sure, totally, yeah. Of course.
Crazy, but it's kind of really cool.
So as Miranda and Melanie just continued posting on TikTok, started getting all of this notoriety, as their following grew and grew and grew, it wasn't long until the girls realized that they really wanted to take things further in their careers. And with that, they knew that they probably would have a better chance at that, a better success rate, if they were to move to Los Angeles. So that's exactly what happened. And at first, everything was really great.
Tim Hortons is literally the best coffee ever. If you know what it is,
comment in the comment section.
Cheers.
So, cheers. So good. We also have blankets to cover up with.
I know, we're so cozy.
And the Christmas lights begin.
Hold on, y'all.
Oh my gosh. It is so pretty.
My screen just got like so big and I don't understand what happened. What the crap? Okay. Hold on, y'all. I mean, I can pull this back up, but like everything just got so big and I can't see anything. Okay. Whoa, thank goodness. I don't know what the hell that was about. Goodness gracious, that was weird. Like my tab took over my whole computer and I couldn't see like how to pause or anything. Okay. Sorry about that. I apologize.
It's one of the Wilking sisters. I'm Miranda. Hi. I have been without my sister for about a week. She is in Atlanta. I'm going to the airport right now to pick her up. Sister.
Okay, I think we get the gist of this. I'm going to kind of skip it ahead a little bit. I'll go to right here where we talk about the church.
But to better understand the background of 7M, we have to talk about a man named Robert Shin. Robert owns Shekinah Church, where he teaches the Seven Mountain Mandate. And this church is based in Los Angeles, and it was started back in 1994.
Seven Mountain Mandate has gained popularity among some charismatic and Pentecostal churches and was allegedly taught and honored at Shekinah Church, which is owned and pastored by a man named Robert Shin.
But get this, according to an old version of his website, Robert described himself as a former medical doctor who then changed his life after he heard the voice of God. How many times have we heard this, guys? I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I believe that anything could happen in the world, but how many times do we hear from somebody that they had a prophecy or they heard the voice of God and that this voice told them something? Moreover, told them that they were going to be a leader of some kind. Now, going back to Miranda really quick and how all of this ties in. In 2021, Miranda met some fellow TikTokers and influencers and different dance creators, and they were a part of one particular creator house. Remember how I had mentioned Hype House, different TikTok spinoff houses, things like that. And a creator house is basically a house, and it's shared by influencers. And in that house, they do what it basically sounds like. All they do is create. They collaborate with each other on videos, they do their own videos, and think of it almost as like a sorority or a fraternity, but social media edition.
Yeah, a lot of people, like my kids actually would watch these people that had like a creator house, and they would like put a ball pit in the living room and then jump off the stairs into the ball pit. They'll rent these expensive houses and then just use the house like a sorority or fraternity and just make a bunch of videos. And then, yeah, like she said, collaborate together or just make videos themselves. He makes them donate their earnings from the gigs to the church. Oh my God. Yeah. Becky P said another fake prophet who uses female followers for his own pleasure. What a pig. I mean, a lot of that is my issue. Like, I have a lot of issues with mainstream church and things like that, but that's for another day.
That's really what it is. And usually these houses are ultra extravagant. I mean, they are beautiful, they are luxurious, and it kind of makes it the perfect backdrop for creating this content.
Right. They're super expensive. And let me say, this was not a mainstream church. I was just talking about my issues. You can watch me walk into walls or fall down the stairs for free. Yeah. And they'll put it on YouTube. If I could remember the name of that one they used to watch, I'd pull it up, but they do it a lot. There's also that couple that just like, I don't know, broke up or got in trouble or something. The A family or something. They had a house like that. They get paid with room and board, clothes and food, probably no cash, more control. Oh my gosh. Looks like a cult, sounds like a cult, acts like a cult, must be a cult. Right. Sounds like it to me. Yeah, definitely some of the best advice you'll ever get. If somebody tells you they're a prophet, run. Run. Jay said, you know, it's sad. These are probably really sweet girls and never could have imagined this would go from innocent to evil. You're absolutely right. That's how people get sucked into these things. It's not ever, nobody ever thinks that that's what it is. Like, you don't ever say, I'm going to join a cult. You realize you're in one after you're already in too deep, unfortunately.
Is being posted on all social media platforms. So not only are people witnessing these talented people dancing, but then they see this mega mansion behind them and they're like, I want that. I want to be invited to the hype house or the TikTok house, all of these things. And it just kind of glamorizes the whole situation, right? An added bonus in all of that too is living together with all of these other influencers, because it makes it so much easier to collaborate with each other so that you not only are growing your own following, but you're growing your following based on other people's followings. Because if you're posting videos together and it's on another person's profile in addition to yours, those followers will probably come over and come to yours. And it was just beneficial for everybody who was involved there. Now, what's interesting about these creator houses, such as Hype House and things like that, is many times talent management agencies will pay for this house. They'll be the ones footing the bill, and they just allow creators who are under that agency to come in to live at the house or use the house, come in and out, and kind of party. Again, very much like a frat or a sorority. So to many aspiring influencers, getting the chance to be a part of something like this, a part of a creator house, or better yet, even get picked up by a management agency, I mean, it's exactly the kind of thing that they dream of. And
right. And so then if you are the leader of this house where you're going to let people come in and there's the possibility to kind of skyrocket your career, everybody's going to want to be there. And then, I mean, think about eventually it becomes, oh, well, I'm not going to pay you while you're staying here because of the opportunity I'm providing you. And it opens a door to a lot of misuse and things like that.
it's exactly the kind of thing that Miranda and her sister were dreaming of when they moved to Los Angeles. So it's not hard to imagine that after Miranda became friends with some of the creators who lived at a creator house, I mean, she was immediately enthralled by this. And like I said earlier, Miranda was an extremely talented dancer as well. So it definitely was not long until she was invited to join the creator house and also to be a part of the management company's team.
Pretty woman.
So that's the kind of dance and things that they will sit there and plan out and put online. Jay the Italian Cookie said, think if your daughter was a dancer and got caught up in something like this, you would be pissed and want to probably file charges and all kinds of things. I mean, yeah, I would be. I mean, you know, you think your daughter or, you know, you do all these things because your daughter or son or whatever likes to dance, and you're thinking you're helping them with their career and they're joining something that's going to help them skyrocket their career so they can be everything they ever wanted to be. And then you find out some shit like this. It's heartbreaking. It's sickening how people can go in and take innocent people, very innocent, and brainwash them. It is. You love these people? Oh no, Lori. I've never understood Scientology. I've never either. This one stole my outfit, said Abellis.
Now, part of living at the creator house includes creating content, like I mentioned. And of course, this house isn't exactly free to influencers. Most management companies actually make a percentage of what's then paid to the influencers, which does make sense, right? It's kind of like a kickback. It's a commission. It seems fair. It sounds normal. However, the management company who owned this particular creator house is known as 7M. Yes, that 7M. The same 7M for the religious piece of it, the principles, the guy who heard God's voice, things like that. Now, at the time, the 7M house was home to several social media influencers. Some of them included Concrete, B-Dash, Kylie Douglas, Aubrey Fisher, Kaylee Gray, and so many more. So this management company called 7M Films is run by Robert Shin and his family, and they have a slew of major sponsors. Also, the dancers under 7M Films are often spotted filming in hotspots all around LA. The 7M crew has also shot videos on Broadway, in stunning beach houses all across the US, and even at the Staples Center in LA. So, I mean, a pretty big deal. Something that seems very established, very credible, right?
Oh my goodness. So we are at Universal City Walk. We're about to get up on that stage and dance and sing our hearts out. We are in the dressing room. We're just chilling, getting ready for this run through. It's great. We're having a great time.
Are you excited?
I am very excited.
So
Okay. Jay said, I can't help but think about Candace and Hunter with the TikTok BS. Could they have done something to her and it went very wrong? Are you talking about Summer Wells? When you say Candace and Hunter, I'm thinking Candace and that boy that was with her. I wouldn't think that Summer Wells would be involved by proxy with any of this. I hope not. Lord knows. I don't see that being I don't see Candace and Hunter being known well enough by people like this to be involved in any type of way like that. Zan, thank you so much for the super sticker. That was so sweet of you. I really appreciate that. And the little fox saying good job. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That was so sweet. Thank you so very much. I really like that. That's so cute. Thank you. And it's good to see you. I've not heard of many of them either. Yeah, they're just chopping it up, right? Thank you, Zan.
Article, Rolling Stone described 7M's videos and their company as, quote, polished, catchy, and somewhat hypnotic. Its content tailor-made to go viral, and 7M's approach seems to be working. Several of 7M's 11 dancers have millions of followers on TikTok and Instagram. The dancers' success extends beyond social media, too. According to 7M dancers' videos, some of the company's clients have appeared in national ad campaigns and also have performed in the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show, which was led by Dr. Dre. So by being a part of this management company, rather than going solo, Miranda was set to score even bigger gigs and really boost her online presence. So from an outsider's perspective, it really did look like the perfect setup for Miranda, so she could grow her personal brand all alongside her close friends while they were doing the same thing.
Abraham said, I have a series about Scientology and have had several good friends who are ex-members. You do have a lot of great information over on your channel. I'm going to try to grab the link real quick and drop it in chat for you. They sell all your outfits.
Like-minded people, all with the shared goal, really encouraging and being a support system for one another. Except in this case, once Miranda joined 7M, her sister Melanie started noticing a major shift in Miranda. Specifically, after Miranda joined the 7M house, she stopped making videos with her sister Melanie, and she also seemed to spend all of her time with all of the other 7M dancers. Her family claimed that Miranda barely talked to them anymore. They first started noticing these changes back in 2021, just a few weeks after she joined 7M. Now, around this same time, their grandfather unfortunately passed away, and both sisters had planned to fly back to Michigan for the funeral. However, just 30 minutes before their flight, Miranda called her parents to say that she wasn't coming. She claimed that she had COVID, that she couldn't make it. Now, Melanie was suspicious about all of this because apparently they both already had COVID a month prior. So when Melanie spoke to Miranda about this and asked her, what's really going on? We just had COVID. She admitted that she really wasn't sick, but she said that she couldn't come for reasons that she couldn't explain. So this situation, combined with the fact that Miranda had pretty much completely stopped talking to her parents altogether in general at this point, it was extremely concerning. They wondered what was really going on here. They were unsure about 7M entirely, and they thought that the company was just demanding way too much of Miranda's time. So Miranda's parents eventually flew to California so that they could visit her. And
I think I remember hearing about all this. Thank you, Abellis, for dropping his link. I kept clicking on it and it wouldn't let me get it. So I appreciate that. Yeah, he does have an excellent channel. Can you imagine all the parents of these young girls and probably some boys that have been brainwashed into these cults? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's crazy to think about. Curious. Prophet was trying to separate them. I remember hearing about that part. Oh no. Oh no, Rosie.
They said that she seemed withdrawn, defensive, almost like a completely different person. Apparently, while they were there, Miranda even stormed off and then later just cut off all contact with her friends and family completely, even blocking her grandmother on social media. She even deleted all of her old Instagram posts, even the ones that she had with her sister Melanie, which was a pretty big deal because if you remember, it's almost like your digital portfolio. It shows how viral you've gone. It shows all of your success, your talents, but she just wiped it from her feed. She also apparently changed her appearance and her dance style. By April of 2021, just a few months after joining, Miranda ended up posting a video with a whole new look completely. She had short blonde hair, a different dance style featuring older music, and then soon after that, she ended up marrying somebody named James Derrick, who also goes by B-, who's another dancer under the 7M umbrella. They got married in a private ceremony that her family wasn't even invited to. So, of course, this made Miranda's family even more concerned about everything. They were
So, yeah, like Jay has been saying, could you imagine being her family and then all of a sudden, I mean, she just cuts off all communication, gets married, and like y'all haven't had an argument, nothing's happened. I mean, your baby gets married and all that, and you don't even know about it? I do remember hearing about this a while back.
Really starting to wonder if maybe something more sinister was happening behind the scenes here. This wasn't like Miranda, and who was this guy that she married? Was she forced to get married? Was this a publicity stunt for more followers? I mean, she lives in LA after all. We've seen crazier things happen. Miranda's family just really didn't know. Their concerns about Miranda and all of the new activity, the new version of herself, I mean, this continued for almost a full year. But it was all in private. They kept it to themselves until finally they couldn't keep it to themselves anymore. So in February of 2022, Miranda's family posted a video to social media. They said that they were worried and they believed that Miranda was being controlled and forced to cut ties with them. They even went as far as saying they worried that Miranda was being held captive.
Haunting us for over a year now. Yeah, it's definitely been the hardest year of my life. But we want to answer some of your questions. Hello. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Get some tissue already.
Yeah. It's been rough. Very rough. So today is my sister's birthday.
Oh no.
And we're not, I mean, okay, I don't even know where to start. We're not allowed to contact her, and it's really sad because we're blocked on absolutely everything. So whenever we try to say anything, like I even just commented on a video today, instantly blocked.
So, Drama, at this point, the two girls that we saw talking, like, you know, so happily in the beginning, they're sisters. And at this point, the one sister cut off all communication with her other sister and her family and blocked them on social media. And they find out that she got married and all kinds of things. And there's just no reason for her to have cut off all communication. Like, she won't talk to her family at all, and they're really upset. I'm not sure. That's a good question, Becky P. And I remember when all this was happening, they're basically trying to get people to listen to them and come out, and they're begging their daughter, her sister, to talk to them because they don't even understand why she cut off all communication with them. And if you think about it in the mindset of this church and the control and the cult aspect of it, he's more than likely told her in order to keep working and to have her job and all that, she's got to cut out everybody from her life. And you can imagine the story. Oh, they're not good for you. They're trying to hold you back. You could be so much more if you just stop talking to your family. And she evidently fell for it and got kind of brainwashed because of the cult, is what I'm assuming. What I'm speculating, allegedly.
So it's just been really hard to deal with, and we really don't know why.
One of the dancers that was living at the house with her. Oh no, you're good. Curious.
I mean, we obviously that is the $1 million question. Is why? And trust me, we don't really know. So I guess we'll start. It was January 18th was the worst day of our lives of last year. And basically, I don't know. Do we want to say? This was totally on a whim, so I don't even really know. So January 18th, we were supposed to go home, and 30 minutes before we were leaving for the airport, Miranda calls my mom and dad and says she's not coming home. And it was like, what do you mean you're not coming home? She said she had COVID. She did not have COVID. We had had it the month prior. I mean, she was not sick at all. And she even said it. She even admitted that it wasn't because of COVID. She was just making that up.
And that she just
couldn't come home.
And that she was sorry and we won't understand.
We won't understand, but she can't come home. And
so we tried to then, Melanie got on the flight, came home. The next couple of days, Kelly and I went and tried to see what was going on.
Came back here
in California, and spent a day and a half here. She was here at the condo. We talked to her for a couple hours, and she was a very different person that we've had than when she was home many times.
Very disconnected,
yes.
like just not
Yes.
herself at all.
Right.
And she couldn't explain why she wasn't
Kept
coming
wanting to leave. And
my dad even texted me because I was in Michigan and they were here, and he said she keeps saying that she has to go film videos with James. B-Dash, should I let her go? And I said, well, if you let her go, that'll be the last time you're going to see her.
And it was.
I think that the sister was with her there for a little while, but left or something. I'm not sure. Cece, we're talking about this TikTok cult now. We veered off from it, but if you back up, we talked about the Bibb County story. They went to court and basically didn't want to be bonded out. It is a little bit further back, Cece. This is just something that we were talking about briefly towards the end here. Because the TikTok cult, dancing cult, just got raided in LA.
And it was.
Yeah.
And
she just
what
kept
were
saying,
they going to do?
But she kept
Nice
saying
to
when
meet you.
I said, please come home to
All right,
publish,
Abby.
you're going to regret it. And she said, I'll see. And I said, well, who do you have to ask? And she's like, well, I'm afraid I'm going to make a mistake. I'm just learning. So whatever she's involved in, she's got some kind of control over her that is making her afraid of something. And as anyone that knows our family knows how close we've always been. And prior to her getting involved in this like religious group that she's involved in, we never ever had a disagreement or an argument, her and I.
So here's the thing too. Melanie also was going to these church things and everything, and she realized
we never really addressed that. So I guess we're addressing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dolly said she wasn't there. They all live on other properties that Shin gives them. People arrested, I think, were his family, his son, his cousin, and his sister were in the back crying with a toddler.
Miranda is a part of a religious group, and she's not allowed to speak to us. And
that's the thing.
That's the thing that we've realized is Miranda, James, all these people that they're with, they're not in control of their lives. Someone else is controlling their lives, and they're all victims of this. And it would be so easy to just like forget about, oh, screw her, like she doesn't care about us anymore. But we know that's not her. She would never ever block Grammy. No,
Grammy and Papa were everything. And after Papa died, to think that she wasn't attending his funeral.
And he was like a second father to us. It's not like we weren't close.
You guys talk to Grammy and
Michelle.
Papa every single day, if not more than once a day. So to not go to his funeral, and he was like the #1 supporter.
Oh my gosh, on his last day, he was showing the nurse our TikTok videos. And he FaceTimed us. It was
Okay, so I'm going to skip it past the family talking because I'm not going to watch all of it. Like, I'm trying to kind of skip it ahead a little bit. We'll skip it to this most played part.
for the example that like siblings can get along, we can have fun together, we can, be best friends. And the fact that they have taken this from us, it
drama.
kills me. And this isn't just drama. And that's why we didn't want to say anything either, because we didn't want to be like, oh, what's the tea with the Wilkins sisters? What's going on? And it's like,
hey,
no,
Chris,
this is
or
so
have a
real.
good day, Chris.
It's just a lot.
Oh no.
So it's not, trust me, we're not trying to get freaking attention from this. We just want Miranda back and don't know what to do. I think that's why we're doing this, is we don't know what else to do.
Now, for the record, Miranda and James/B dash, they have completely denied these allegations. They have adamantly said that their personal relationship with each other and their marriage with one another is 100% genuine. They say that the relationship with 7M Films is purely professional, that they are not forcing them to do anything. So take that for what you will. But I will say this, and this is just my personal opinion, never have I seen a cult member who has been under the influence or impression of their leader come out and say that it wasn't their own actions. There wasn't free will of whatever they were doing. So it could very well be true. Maybe they are happily married. Their relationship has nothing to do with 7M Films, but if it did, we probably wouldn't know otherwise. Just my opinion. So needless to say, though, this video that her family posted, it was extremely alarming and it went absolutely viral. So it definitely wasn't long until other family members and friends of other 7M members started speaking out as well. They started going to social media and sharing eerily similar experiences. And it felt like everything was about to just explode. Okay, so now that Miranda's family has publicly spoken out and they have said what their concerns are, they're worried that she may even be being held captive. All of these other family members and friends of other 7M members are coming to the surface. They're sharing their experiences, and they shared similar stories of loved ones just cutting off contact, even stories of them getting married abruptly. Some even said that their friends had now become very, very religious since joining 7M. And this stirred up a lot of talk on social media, as I'm sure you can imagine, because there was a ton of speculation that 7M was actually a front for a Christian cult.
An old friend of James, Joey Knucklehead Turman, also noticed a change in James and other crump dancers that were now involved with 7M Films. But after watching the Wilkins video, James's behavior looked all too familiar. Joey and James had fallen prey to an alleged cult before. Years ago, when the two were part of a dance group on America's Best Dance Crew called Street Kingdom, they were members of a church in Los Angeles that prophesied they'd win the competition, a prediction that didn't end up coming true. According to Joey, the church required a large dedication of their time and cut them off from their loved ones. When you look back and you just realize all of the years that you were being controlled and manipulated, and all the friends that I lost in the process, and all of the things that I was not here for my family, Joey said in an interview with Rolling Stone. Though they broke away from the religious organization after a few years, it seemed to Joey that James had been sucked into another one.
The Wilking family has spoken out. I'm about to speak out on my live and just dive deeper into how all this came to be and answer any and all questions. We have literally lived in the same house together. You know, I know all about his upbringing, the trauma that he's overcame. Same for me.
So these are people speaking out, and evidently is it common, this dance cult type thing? Because that guy was in a different one who said they were going to win America's that talent show. Hey, Miss Sarah, good to see you. Oh, thank you for listening.
And so we've had like.
I'm sorry that you're dealing with some real life stuff. I hate when that happens. But I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. But thank you for being here and for listening. I hope everything gets better.
I want you guys to understand that, like, I looked at him like a brother. And that call was so interesting. It was like, I didn't understand who I was on the phone with. It was like a different person. It was just like conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory. And it like really weirded me out because that's not B-Dash, that's not James. And I'm sitting here shook because, and to anybody out there who knows the Wilking family, you know how sweet they are. Like, they are just so much fun to be around. They're like this, all of them. And his replies were like robotic. It was like I was talking to a machine who didn't hear anything of the message or any of the emotions. I think his reply was something along the lines of like, there's a lot of people that want to collaborate with me. And there's a lot of people on my list, like, I'm down to collab with you. And when I broke down to him how hurt I was about, you know, not being told about the engagement, not being invited to the wedding, he simply said, I'm married now, things change. That's all he said.
Some of these allegations even included arranged marriages within the dancers, and the dancers being forced to cut ties with those outside of the organization, even if it was family. Very similar to Scientology, right? And again, these are just accusations and allegations, but we often...
And just like Jay said, I think they're under the same kind of umbrella as Scientology, but using dancers. Absolutely. I agree.
Hear that with Scientology as well, that unless your family member or your friend or your partner, your spouse is also a Scientologist, then they should not be near you because they are whatever it's called, a suppressed person, or they're in the dark, whatever the terminology is. And that's very similar to what allegations were now starting to surface. Yep. And if you remember, it doesn't seem all that far-fetched because 7M Films is run by Robert Shin, who also owns that church. The church that believes in those 7 principles of religion, media, business, all the different things. And I hate.
So it is just like Scientology. It's like a knockoff of Scientology almost, but using dancers, exactly like you said.
To keep drawing the parallels here, but Where else do we see core principles like that? We've seen it in NXIVM. We've seen it in Twin Flames. We've seen it in Scientology. We have seen it with Warren Jeffs. I mean, it's almost like they rip a page out of the exact same playbook. That is to say, if this is in fact a cult, which it has not been proven to be, this is all alleged. And guys, the reason I keep saying alleged and throwing that out is because allegedly they are very, very litigious and like to lock things down. So I'm just trying to be very careful with my words here. I'm trying to use my words carefully and make it very clear that this is all opinion-based. You know where I'm going. Okay. Now, former members of the church that Robert owns and runs, they claim that Robert's teachings, specifically the Seven Mountain Mandate, that they were also promoted within the 7M TikTok group. And some former members even claim that they were encouraged to donate these very large sums of money, not only to the church, but also to Robert Shin himself. In response to all of these allegations, 7M Films, Miranda, her husband, and the church have all denied any wrongdoing. They've said that 7M Films is completely separate from the church entirely. And they also said that Miranda's family's claims are just pure outlandish. In their statement, they said, Miranda Derrick is a successful businesswoman and a loving wife and daughter. She cares very much about her family. It is pathetic and contemptible to try to turn her private family matter into a tawdry public scandal just for clicks and clout. But is it really that simple?
We are on that. We're trying to figure things out because I will not give up on my family. And it's not going to happen to me anymore.
And I think that's exactly what they want, is they want us to just go away. Go away so they can just continue doing what
they don't know
doing.
who they're best. They don't know who we've been beforehand. They don't know how close we've been.
And
I
it's like,
know a person that came to our house. This person came to our house and sat in our house for over 7 weeks during the pandemic. And this is her husband now. And said, you have a very different, weird family. You're way too close. And other people around us know the fact is we know that. People say that we are too close. We're weird that way, but we have a bond. We have a bond.
Okay, I'm skipping that.
And yeah, if anyone has any information or has any insight or a similar situation that we could try a new avenue, we would greatly appreciate it because we are completely desperate.
And again, that's just their family pleading for their sister, their daughter, and all of that.
On her social media, Miranda has explained that joining 7M and the church was a personal choice. She described her shift as a spiritual awakening, claiming that now she's happier and she's living a better life. Miranda said that her family's portrayal of events is not accurate and that she decided to cut ties with them all on her own. She also mentioned that she wanted more control over her joint venture with her sister, that she wanted more time to spend with her husband, and that she wanted more time to study the Bible. Now, as I'm sure you can imagine, a lot of people believe that Miranda was forced to make these videos, or that maybe had somebody beside her telling her what to say, what to do, what image she needed to really portray on these videos, what message she needed to get across. Although I do want to be clear, this is just speculation.
Hi guys, we are live. We're in Detroit, Michigan. This is my husband James. This is my mom Kelly and my dad Dean. Since they wanted to make our lives public, we're gonna go live. Do you guys have anything to say to the live stream?
I love you, Miranda, and I miss you.
Yeah, love you. We're excited to see her in person.
I want to video document our meeting with my parents. It is March 9th on a Wednesday, 2022. And the reason why, because we just want to shut down all the lies, talking about we don't talk to our families. Not true. But we just don't like talking to Miranda's parents or the relatives because of the harassment and the hate. But there are communications here and there.
I've been seeing a lot of things being talked about as facts here on social media.
Okay,
a lot of
I'm a
people
Scorpio.
who,
I love you.
I'm not going to mention any names, but have created this narrative of my life just to make money off of me. And like I've said before, I really don't want to make these things public and share these things on social media, but I'm being forced to speak my truth. So let's go. She completely ignored everything I said.
Okay, so now we're going to tear the parents apart that are just concerned about her. Okay, I don't know. Sounds like right now it's sounding like a bunch of family drama that probably shouldn't be out here. Miss Scorpio gifted a membership. Thank you so much for gifting that membership, Miss Scorpio. And I hope you have a good day, love. That went to Buffy1162. If you are aware you were gifted from Miss Scorpio, please tell Miss Scorpio thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Scorpio. I really appreciate that. And I will grab the crazy train to pick you up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you, Miss Scorpio. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Social media has ruined a lot. Yeah, there is a lot of cult tactics going on here. And yeah, it's crazy.
She decided to schedule us for more brand deals without letting me know. She said that I left her stranded with other brand deals that we did. I didn't get paid for the brand deals that we did when we were together. And honestly, that's the reason why I was just overworking together as Wilking sisters.
Hey, you guys,
Oh,
I just
no.
wanted to hop on really quick and address the date, January 21st. It just keeps popping up. I know my mom has been stuck on January 21st, and a lot of you have been saying that I cut off all communication completely with my family. I just want to say that that is a complete lie. Has there been less communication? Yes, because we are going through a lot. But to say that I cut off complete communication is a lie. I have proof that we have spoken since that date. I have text messages, I have DMs, I have proof of phone calls, I have voice memos proving that we have talked. I wanted to continue moving forward with Wilking Sisters. I wanted to continue that relationship with Melanie. But I just asked if she could give me a couple weeks just to collect my thoughts and kind of figure out how I could continue Wilking Sisters, but on new terms. Because I also wanted to pursue, I was going into singing a little bit more. I also just moved in with James. So just figuring that out. And she was cool with it. She asked if it was okay to post, a statement on TikTok. And I agreed. That sounded great. She posted it just, telling all of our fans that Miranda's going to be taking a little bit of time off. But yeah, I wanted to get it back together and, post as usual.
Pia Loa's mom, thank you for being here, said, is she not an adult and can choose who she is with and what she does? Just asking. Yes, she is. She is an adult. The concern is that it's a cult. So I don't know. It's confusing. It sounds like a lot of hostility. That's the big debate. Drama, personal choice, or cult. Yep. I agree.
I just wanted to, I have some notes of dates, exact dates that I communicated with my family. So last year, I met my mom in person with James on July 1st, 2021. Her and I met, just her and I.
All right, I'm going to skip it past this because it's a lot of personal drama, kind of. She's kind of more interested in the cult aspect of it, or not, and understanding that.
2010 deposition, it was revealed that the church had 70 members and they had donated a total of $4.7 million over 8 years. Which, let me just do that math real quick, guys. Let me get my calculator out because I'm definitely not a mathematician. This is not a math podcast. This is not a finance podcast. But if we have $4.7 million divided by 70 people, that's approximately about $67,143,000. So divided that by 8 years, that means that each member was donating approximately $8,400 a year to this church. And then
so $8,400 a year to the church if they're all donating the same amount. Southern Cat said, anyone noticed she lost the Baby Talk Act? She did. So that tells me that she's trying to show that she's an adult and more grown up and adult-like, and I guess can make her own decisions.
In total, each person over the 8 years, about $67,000. But that's pretty crazy, right? $4.7 million in 8 years by only 70 members. Whew, you got to have a lot of pull to kind of get those donations, just my opinion. Now, it was also alleged that these members made personal donations to Robert as well, who was considered at this point, quote, the voice of God. Now, documents also show that in October of 2007 alone, that Robert received nearly $300,000 in personal checks.
So that's where you get into a lot of problem. We're thinking that this man is the voice of God.
All from the congregation. I'm sorry, you're receiving $300,000 personal checks from your congregation, not to the church, but to yourself. Something here feels fishy. Something here smells like what I can't remember his name, the Twin Flames guy, where he was asking for personal donations. And then he was like posting all these videos on YouTube of like his Corvettes, his Lamborghinis, his big house. It is so gross. Now, back in 2009, a woman named Lydia Chung tried to sue Robert and also sue the church for $4 million.
So that could be like, oh, you give me a personal donation and I'll give you this brand deal, or I'll hook you up with this producer or this manager. That could be what's going on there. Could be, allegedly.
She allegedly said that they used mind control, that they exerted undue influence, engaged in coercive persuasion, and also other intimidating tactics, trying to really say, this is not right, something is wrong here, and really raising the alarm. Lydia also said that he controlled all of her decisions, which were not in her best interest. The judge ended up ruling against her, though, stating that she acted of her own free will as an adult, although he did note that Robert's behavior was coercive. Now, other than that, there's really not that much that's known about Robert other than the publicly available court filings where he's named. However, Robert allegedly lives a life of full-blown luxury here in California, driving high-end cars, allegedly living in a $2.5 million mansion where all the creators live as well, which, gotta say, guys, if you're only listening to the audio and not seeing the video here, I'm rolling my eyes. Why are you living with the creators? Even if you are the talent manager, I don't live with my agent. Something is weird here. Something feels off. Just my opinion.
So yeah, that is weird. Miss Sarah said, plus why is it a frumpy dude that quote leads unquote the cult? You got greasy Jeffy from the Twin Flames, frumpy Keith Rainier from Nexium, so on and so forth. That is interesting. It is always some weird dude that leads these cults and things. I hadn't even thought about it. Coming from a severely dysfunctional family where the prime directive is to project perfect family vibes, I wonder if this is simply a control struggle between two organizations. It could be. Hey, Max, I'm sorry it's so hot. That's a good thing to point out, Sarah. You're absolutely right.
There's legitimacy to the cult allegations or not, something just feels gross here. So then in 2022, Rolling Stone reported about an ex-member who sued Robert and 7M. And according to this lawsuit, Robert controlled his followers' lives. This included their finances, their daily activities, and he even made some of their healthcare decisions.
What?
And even more suspicion about Robert has been fueled by the fact that the 7M creator house is run by his family. His son Isaiah films most of the videos. His wife Hannah is the CFO, and his ex-wife Shirley is the house attorney. And Daniel Joseph, who directs those 7M videos, he's married to Robert's daughter, Chloe. I mean, talk about keeping it in the family. I'm all for nepotism, and I'm all for, I'm not, but you know what I mean? But like, I'm all for keeping it in the family and helping each other out. But like, something here just really gives me the ick. Robert is also currently being sued by former dancers from 7M Films and from the church. They claim that Robert does run a cult, that he is recruiting members through his entertainment empire and then taking advantage of them financially. They also claim that he controlled their finances, took significant cuts from their earnings, and also encouraged these hefty donations to the church. One dancer even claimed that Robert applied for COVID relief funds in his name and took a 20% cut from his earnings. And another dancer said that he was never paid for different construction work that he did for the church, and he also gave 30% of his income in donations. However, current members have posted videos really joking about this controversy. They've also made comments in different comment sections across social media, just insisting that they're safe, they're happy, they're successful, that everything is great with 7M. We all know that it's a well-known reality that making it as a celebrity or making it in the entertainment industry in general, it is very, very difficult. Even dancers who do end up finding work, they typically have an unpaid off season where they have to find other ways to make ends meet, get a side hustle going. Other dancers are freelancers booking just one job at a time. So like I mentioned earlier, it's easy to see why management companies that focus on content creation for social media, they are very appealing. It is easy to be drawn into that, especially right now with social media just like booming. Everybody seems to want to be an influencer or be in the creative aspect of work in some sort of regard, whatever it may be, maybe behind the scenes. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in, but for dance specifically, it really gives dancers a platform to market themselves, to book jobs, to establish their brand, to earn money, all the different things. Now, doing a little Be Kind rewind for a minute, and let's go back to 2019, Miranda's husband James did an interview with the Washington Post. He talked all about the independence that social media afforded him in his career. And as a side note, this was way before Miranda joined or he even knew her, but I just wanted to share his quote here. He said, "With these platforms, at the end of the day, you don't need a label. All you need is fans. That's why social media is golden for people like us, because you can become an artist without anyone holding us back and telling us what to do." Which, sure, people's perspectives and opinions can change. They can change their outlook on life at any point in 1 year.
So basically they can be independent and not have to stress so much about booking jobs and all of the off time and things like that. Like, I get that aspect of it, but then how do you get sucked into this church thinking that that man is God and giving him all your money? I mean, I suppose if he's living in the creator house, he's there constantly. Miss Sarah said, "I'm a nerd when it comes to cult research. Definitely something I hope to study more in school. Maybe I'll be an undercover FBI agent, forensic psychologist that busts cults someday. I hope you are. I legitimately do. That would be awesome for you. I would be so happy if you were able to do that. I know you would love that job. Hey, Kalisa. Good to see you.
2 years, 3 years, 10 years, it doesn't matter. But that was in 2019. The majority of all of these allegations, the marriage, all of that was in 2021. So what was the shift, I wonder, from thinking you don't need a label, you don't need somebody to tell you what to do, you can be completely self-employed, self-reliant, to then jumping to where you're living in this creator house,
right?
You're letting this person essentially, allegedly run your life. It feels like something's not balanced. Again, opinions change, people change. Maybe it's as easy as that and simple as that, but I don't know. What do you think? So the question still remains in all of this. Is Robert Shin a successful businessman and a pastor with this very close-knit family who's all willing to work for him? Or is it like some people are speculating, that he's actually using religious faith to control people, also that he can profit from his followers?
So again, we're going to stop right there on that question, and I'm going to show you again where he got busted. There was another news clip on it. Obviously he was using it.
When I tell you,
the Bibb County community is coming.
Obviously he was using
An
it.
FBI raid.
Simple
Lord
as
have
that, but
mercy.
I don't know. What do you?
An FBI raid this morning at a.
Thank you. Obviously he was using it to profit, considering all of the charges he got. Let's see. Like, obviously he was profiting off of it and all of that. Considering the charges he got. You can watch this one before we go.
We begin with breaking news from Tahunga. Federal authorities have served search warrants at a home tied to the Netflix documentary Dancing for the Devil about an alleged cult.
Yes, several people were seen in handcuffs during the operation. KTLA 5's Kimberly Chang live now in Tahunga with details on the investigation. Kimberly.
And this was from just 2 days ago.
Hi, and just a few moments ago, we saw a caravan of vehicles leaving this property, 10 from what I could count. If you take a look behind me, you can see the gate is knocked down. This is on the 7700 block of McGroarty Street in Tahunga. It was raided earlier this morning. This is where a search warrant was served. Now, take a look. Sky 5 overhead this morning, and we could see several people apparently being detained on the property. Now, sources confirmed to me that this property is owned by Robert Shin and is the same home featured in a Netflix documentary called Dancing for the Devil. It's also
So that right there is that balcony that she was dancing on with him. Like, that is the creator house.
well known among neighbors who told me that more than a year ago, flyers were passed around letting them know about the serious allegations involved and telling them to look up that information. Now, neighbors say early this morning they saw a large law enforcement presence. They say authorities broke through the gate to enter. The FBI, sheriff's personnel were part of this operation. And according to El Monte police, the search warrant was served and involved allegations of tax evasion, sex trafficking, mail fraud, and money laundering. The Postal Service and FBI are leading this investigation. Now, it's not clear if there's a connection, but the home, as I mentioned, was featured in a Netflix documentary called Dancing for the Devil this 7th.
So the sex trafficking would go back to if he's making people get married, and making them. I mean, that's the only way I could see the sex trafficking from what's been said, or making them like have relations and get paid for it with like people who are paying. But I think it would be more related to like having certain members marry each other to keep them confined within the cult and cut off the rest of their family. Drama says, love the name Cult Busters. I do too. Becky P says, looking for that thing to be included, attention, etc. You're so funny, Tom.
M Tic Tok Cult, which focuses on TikTok dancers who join a management company and its associated church. The film accuses Shin of running a cult via his talent management company 7M Films, as well as his church, Shekinah Church, where he serves as a pastor. Last year, 7M Films denied the allegations in the film and called the documentary a slanderous work of fiction and said the company was taking legal action. Earlier, we spoke with a former dancer from the documentary. Take a listen.
We're very happy. I mean, it's been a long time coming, and we hope that justice is served and that people responsible for hurting a lot of people, over the years end up in jail.
Now, an attorney representing plaintiffs who sued Shin sent KTLA a statement saying, in part, regarding the search warrant, we are gratified that the federal government is investigating Robert Shin and look forward to our clients and his victims receiving the justice they deserve. She said the trial is set to begin October 27th. And back here live again, you are looking at gate, which was knocked down during this raid earlier this morning. Again, several vehicles left the property. We haven't seen much activity since. At this point, it's not clear how many people were arrested. We have reached out to the FBI for comment and more information, and we'll let you know when we hear back. For now, reporting live in Tahunga, Kimberly Chang, KTLA 5 News.
And that was the most recent I have, and that's from 2 days ago. I didn't see anything else. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and then it goes back to a year, 4 years, 2 days. Oh, look, Strategic Eyes did something on it. Yeah, everything else is like a year ago and all of that. So I guess that's the Tic Tok Cult thing. Yeah, Max, you try to stay cool. I'm going to go for the day. It has been awesome to hang out with you guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me and for the support and the time that we get to spend together every day. I love it very much, and I look forward to it. I love our speculating family. I do have some FOIA requests out, so we'll talk about that. I did get the Brian Koberger documents. I'm going to get them up on Patreon later tonight, along with Stefan's plea deal and all of that. I had been super busy, so I had not been able to update my Patreon, but those will be on Patreon tonight. And I will be back tomorrow. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for learning about the cult thing with me. I don't know what we're going to talk about tomorrow, but I'm sure it will be interesting. If nobody has told you, you are enough, you are important, you are special, and you are loved. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Love y'all. Bye.